Welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, not being ready, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I'm Mr. Jason Roscoe, and with me here each and every single week, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
I'm ready.
Yes,
No,
you're ready.
No, I'm not. I'm not ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I'm
ready.
When we were doing the countdown, this is for the YouTube people, audio people have no idea what we're talking about, but as we're doing the countdown, it got to about 5 seconds, and Dave's like, fuck, I never looked at the notes.
Well, I mean, you know, we did our. I got here a little later because I left work like normal time, and you know, we did our fair share of bullshitting like we do, and yeah, and then we had to fart around with the microphone at the last minute because guess what?
Yeah, I got a new microphone.
Yeah, finally.
Yes,
Finally. We've only been talking about it for I don't know what. Year,
something like that.
At least a year since whenever I got mine.
Yeah,
like it was like, oh, you know, as soon as we build up the funds again, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and we did. So this is thanks to all of our Patreon followers that I now have a more crystal clear sound, for better or worse.
Yes, for better or for worse.
Yes,
it helped me, I guess, for reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, why am I even worried about the notes?
Yeah, there's not much there. So
how did you were already set for whoops on the intro, or did you just type that?
No, that was actually something else because I totally botched what our fucking topic was this week.
Oh, yeah.
So I had it in my head from last week, because even last week at the end of the show, I said, next week's Tales of the Empire.
Yeah.
Completely forgetting in our actual schedule that we have with Kelly, it was the what's the name of the book again? The Living Force?
The Council of Idiots.
Right. Which we're still going to do in 2 weeks. But for now, we're doing Tales of the Empire. So anybody who's tuning in, who thinks we were doing the book, sorry. Shit happens.
Yeah. We should really, really listen to Kelly and not Jason tells me like, oh, this is what the topic's going to be. And I'm going to be like, okay, that's what the topic is. And then, yeah. It serves me right for listening to you.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
But I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that topic because I watched it when it first came out. So it was like, okay, I'll rewatch it for the show. And
wait, what are we talking about?
For the topic that we're doing this week.
Oh, yeah. Tales of the Empire.
For Tales of the Empire, yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about something else for a second there.
No, and I'm not all the way through the book, so I wasn't ready to do the book.
Okay, good.
The Tales of the Crappy Council book.
Boy, you really have some opinions on this.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Well, hold them, because
we will get there.
We're doing that in 2 weeks. Shit. So, yeah, we already talked about what we're talking about this week, Tales of the Empire.
Yes.
So why don't we take care of business and talk about Patreon?
You can talk about Patreon while I dick around with this over here.
All right. Well, we'd like to give a huge shout out over my new microphone to all of our current patrons. My wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein, Don Solsky, The Orange and Fett Show, Dragon Buddy, Sterling Azier, Helen Martin, Chantal from Pop My Culture, Ivo G, Scott and Kim from Used and Abused, Catherine Rennick, Tina Land, Frederick Martin, Wally Frogmore, Lord Helmet Fire, Carly Vickers, David Schmuck, Frank Kalevich, Nick from Swede Studios, Kristen Roscom, Shotgun Mark, and Brady Big Eleven. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/the Sidebar Cantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this.
My penis is so smooth.
Oh, come on, man. Why you got to do me like that?
I don't, because you were about gurgled out that last bit of the line.
Yeah. I was getting a little ahead of myself in my head.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
Sidebar headlines?
Yeah.
It says no news is good news.
Oh, okay.
So that's easy one for today. So
Okay.
what do we got next?
Shit, well, I guess we're going right to our weeks.
There's no day in Star Wars today? We are doing a Star Wars topic.
There was one. Hang on. It was all right.
I mean, when's the 25th anniversary? Like the actual date of the 25th anniversary, isn't that like
that was yesterday for
Phantom Menace?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
So,
it was yesterday, May 19th. Oh! We have an addition to the Jason sister story. So May 19th was when Phantom Menace came out. I've told the story before
Yes.
about how it was on my sister's birthday. I didn't call her on her birthday
Oh,
that
no.
year.
Oh, no.
So yesterday was my sister's birthday once again. And despite Kristen reminding me in the morning, I completely forgot to call my sister yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she probably hates me.
That's yeah. Did you like not contact her at all today?
Correct.
So you're just gonna blow by it and then wait until it comes around next year?
I don't know.
Just wait till it comes back around on the record. Just like
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna rectify this.
just be like
I feel like every day that goes by, I'm just digging that hole a little bit deeper.
Facts. You're pushing it off. It's like, I'll just push that, keep pushing that. Meanwhile, the silent rage is just building.
Oh, I hope not. So anyway,
I'm sure next time you see her, she definitely won't bring it up.
probably not. He was hoping.
He could text her right now and be like, yo, I'm doing this huge mea culpa on the podcast right now about missing your birthday. And so I'm really sorry.
No, I'm not going to do that. But on this day in 1982, principal photography for Return of the Jedi wraps.
Nice. See, I told you there was something.
Yeah. So exactly a year before it made theaters, they wrapped filming. And which makes sense because, as we've seen in the Light and Magic show, it takes a while for them to make all the
fucking
effects and
editing.
everything. Yeah. So
It's all in the editing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's this? What am I doing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I'm finally looking at the notes.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing right now.
All right. Well, I guess this is the point where we should get into our weeks, eh?
Yes. You.
Yeah. So
you go first.
So first of all, no Black Series figures this week. I did pre-order a bunch more stuff. Like they're coming out with a ton of shit recently, but it's all for pre-order. It's stuff that's not coming out for months.
Right.
But I feel like I have to do the pre-order because the shit sells out very quickly. So I pre-ordered a bunch more stuff. I do actually have one thing that's coming that'll be here next week that's pretty fucking awesome. So I'm looking forward to showing that off, and that'll be like 2 shows worth of Black Series figures.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
okay.
So stay tuned for that.
So you're not going to show the entire you're telling us that
No. I just mean it'll make up for this episode.
Oh, okay.
And
you're not going to withhold Black Series for 2
No.
episodes. You're
I couldn't do that
because that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're here, why wait? It's complete bullshit.
Unless we go back to recording 2 shows a day.
No, we can't do that. I don't have the brain power to do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how we did it for so long.
I don't know.
How many years did we do that?
It wasn't that long. It might have been one year.
Was it a full year?
Yeah, it wasn't.
So
It wasn't long before we decided, like, okay, we gotta.
So much alcohol. We did so much. There was
we'd start drinking in the first episode,
right,
and then by the time we got to the second one, it was
the second episode was always the better one,
right?
I mean, for those of you who've been with us since the beginning, because we did just celebrate we didn't even we mentioned it off air.
Oh yeah,
casually, but we did just have 7-year anniversary.
Yeah, for the podcast.
So we didn't even mention it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I completely lost my train of thought because I fucking drank all those episodes away. What's it be? We're like, all right, we get into the grind into the second episode, and I think that's when it. The hardcore listeners will remember that it's not about what we're talking about. It's about the bullshit.
Right.
So,
hold on, I gotta look something up. During that little talk, okay, so yeah, we're talking about anniversaries and stuff. Next year, The Force Awakens is 10.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 years old already for Force Awakens.
Wow. God, that's crazy.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have some
good
good discussions about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. But yeah, no Black Series figures for me. The only other thing I've been doing is I've been teaching myself how to do SQL servers from home.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of is.
Dude, that is one thing that I am really glad that I haven't fucked with at all since I left the unit.
Just any IT stuff in general.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't deal with it at all. Which it kind of sucks because always prided myself on being like a knower of things,
Sure.
but and I still have a good baseline of information, but like the big Cisco stuff and going and staying current on a lot of that and
It's
being
tough.
able to even do some, what the hell is it called? Shit, I don't even remember. Write scripts and do stuff like
Yeah.
that. Dude,
Well, yeah.
I couldn't do it right now if you fucking had a gun to my head.
Yeah,
I don't think I could do it.
And honestly, like I work in cybersecurity, and I still like am losing a lot of the foundational shit.
Yeah.
So
I get we can effectively blame CRS, with our age,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm jealous. There's part of me that like wishes that I'd kind of stayed in that field, but then there's the other part of me is like, no, not really. I'm glad I'm not in it.
yeah. It's got its positives and negatives, but what are you gonna do?
Keeps your brain supple.
Yeah. Other than that, I haven't been doing shit this week. It's just been a fucking blur. His life's a blur. Fuck him.
Man, like some alcoholic haze. Fuck them. What have I been doing this week? Oh my god!
Fucking Marok just took a jump for it. Or
Yeah,
did Balin push
I
him?
think Balin pushed him. Now he's looking over the edge like,
I gotcha,
ha,
fucker.
look, you worthless ass character. Pushed it right over the edge.
Yeah, Marok, he fell. But we might be talking about him again a little later.
So I was gonna say we could rewind and watch the
As
the
he
fall.
falls.
Watch the fall, but it's right. God, it's so
Yeah,
weird. Like this, watch my hand
Here.
disappear. Right,
Actually, I think the place where he fell was right in the
right
blank
down
spot.
that line.
Yep.
Ugh.
Oh well. Anyway,
Supple like your breast. What?
like mine or Dave's?
Oh, Billy.
My penis so smooth.
Anyway, that's it for my week. I really haven't been doing much beyond like, my usual shit. Ben and I throw the football around every day.
You throw it around a little bit.
Yeah, he has gotten so engulfed in professional football. Like now he comes to me every single day with like the new news. Oh, did you hear who the Dolphins just signed this week? And yeah,
Nice.
he's like he went from, not really caring too much except like he's always like the Chiefs to now he's like studying the schedule and he's, like following all of the NFL news.
Boy, it sounds like a fantasy football candidate if I ever heard one.
Oh, that's true. And but yeah, and then finally he decided he wanted to actually like throw a football. So we bought a football and we've been throwing it around every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Ooh, the grass is soft.
Yeah, my shoulder doesn't hold up for too long, but
Yeah,
it is fun.
therein lies the issue again with the old age.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do it till it gives out, and you're like, all right, I'm done. Ice it down. Like, oh, I could do it again, and then
Yeah.
you do it a couple times. Like, nope,
Yep.
nope, no, you can't.
So yeah, but that's it. That's been my week.
That's
Pretty boring.
awesome.
Yeah.
I really this is a classic Dave week where I don't really remember what I did during the week.
Yeah.
I posted some stuff. Actually, I guess my weekend was more kind of filled with stuff because Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. What did I do Friday? Friday was kind of shitty, right? The weather was kind of shitty.
I think so. I think it was just kind of like a damp, not torrential rain, just a little bit, just enough to annoy you.
Last week, the weather, just the way the weather was all last week, was just I was in that mode where like I need to see what the fucking sun looks like.
Yeah.
So that by the time it came out yesterday, I was like, all I want to do is be outside. Like I'll pee outside. I just don't want to go inside.
Right.
So that's what I ended up doing. But Saturday, it was still kind of shitty out, but it was getting better.
Yeah.
Helmet Fire and I flew drones on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had a meeting, Masonic meeting in Trenton, and we ended up meeting up at Willard Brothers, which is this. It's a wood store.
Wood store.
I can't even, it's not a traditional lumber yard.
How does wood get so hard? The wood became hard over 1,000,000 years ago.
My penis is so smooth.
So it's, I don't know. Vickers can probably explain it better, but it's not a lumberyard in the traditional sense. At least not in my traditional sense. It's
Okay.
more of because they have like the live edge wood, where it's, so picture, if you cut something down, right, and you're looking at it from the top, like you cut a tree down, you're looking at it, like you can see all the rings and shit,
Yes.
and then the outside of it you see all the bark.
Yes.
That's what you see. You're seeing all like the bark and the edge
Oh,
of it.
gotcha. Okay.
And then so they cut it so that you can see the live edge, and it's not all live edge. That's what it's called. It's called live edge.
Sure.
But they have these like giant slabs of it, like huge thick slabs,
My penis is so smooth.
and so
Just
sexy.
use it for everything.
So sexy. That it's great for if you were building like tabletops and stuff like that. Like if you're into woodworking for even half a second, you've watched YouTubers that are like building these huge tabletops and like filling in any kind of gaps with epoxy and like just magnificent pieces of wood. Anyway, so this lumberyard, which I've been wanting to go to forever, Vickers finally got me to get there because they were having a sale. And we show up, and dude, if you're into woodworking for half a second, you're like, holy fuck, there's so much amazing wood in here.
My penis is so smooth.
Just picking them up and knocking them down here. And there's all this like exotic wood too. It's like, like teak wood and all this other shit. It's crazy fucking expensive. Like it's expensive.
Really?
So, but they have this like area where like they're called shorts, like stuff that's already kind of pre-cut.
Mm-hmm.
And they have stuff that's like throwaway. So I was back in the throwaway section because that's where the cheap shit is.
Yeah.
And I found like a 5 foot tall piece that was thin cut that I was like, oh man, that would be perfect because I'm trying to mount my dad's naval sword,
Oh, okay.
his officer sword. So I'm like, that would be really good to do that. But at the right price. It had on chalk, it's 75% off. I'm like, off of what? Like, because it was oak, right? And so it was red oak that had the live edge on it, but it was still good, like solid oak in the middle.
Sure.
So I'm like, if this is reasonable, like at Home Depot, if you wanted to get, a good length of wood at Home Depot, it's $10 a linear foot.
Damn.
At Home Depot for a plank of it.
Yeah.
So you're paying $10 a foot. So this thing would have been $50 at Home Depot.
Okay.
So go up and the kid fucking said like, how's $15? I'm like, fuck, yes.
Sold.
Yes. So yeah, for fucking $15. And I bought a couple other little scraps and tossed them into the car. And then we went from there and flew some drones around the Hamilton train station.
Oh, nice.
And it was, it was drizzling a little bit, so the weather wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
But I got to fly as a FPV for a little bit. I had the goggles on.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, it's so much fun.
Is it?
Oh my god, it's awesome.
So is it like almost like VR glasses where you're just basically you're seeing from the perspective of the drone?
Yes, you're basically looking out of the eyes of the drone.
Oh, wow.
So you are like when you're flying, like I was doing these just like powered climbs and just like power dives and like just climb just to see like what I could. I was kind of being a pussy at first because I'm like, I don't want to crash this thing and be responsible for it.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm going to fly it like I'm flying a Cessna and just kind of get a feel for it. And then I started doing some, flying a little bit faster, but I didn't do anything like crazy. But it was so much fun. It's so, because you really feel like you're flying it because you're in the front of it looking.
Would you find yourself like leaning to the sides or up? Or back,
you know what? I have no idea because you're holding the controller like this, so it's you're actually like tilting your hand.
Oh, like you're
for some of the
actually
control, and so it has a it's almost it's to me it reminds me more of what it would be to fly a helicopter because it's
Rest in peace, Iranian president.
yeah fuck you for being an idiot
Yeah.
flying in that weather.
Oh, is that what it was? Was it weather that
Oh
got
yeah,
him?
apparently the weather was shit.
Oh.
It's either that or there's some conspiracy theory, which I'm surprised isn't all over the news right now. Anyway,
Yeah.
but regardless, but yeah, so you have a trigger that controls the throttle. Then you have a hat switch basically
Mhm.
for controlling some of the movement, and then you tilt your hand to control lateral movement and
Yeah,
fore and aft. So like in order to go forward, you kind of have to like tilt your hand, go forward like this, and the vehicle dips, and then you give it some gas, and it starts going.
Nice.
So yeah, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty cool, but it's kind of a multi-axis thing, so it's something you have to get used to. But the actual, like, if you get motion sick at all, I could see you very easily
Oh yeah.
entering the vomitarium very quickly because if you could put any kind of speed on this and go into a turn, like the world is going by very fast.
Oh, I would imagine.
And if you don't know how to like orient yourself and like, hey, I'm flying this vehicle, and you just kind of lose track of it, like
Yeah.
you're going to make yourself sick.
Oh man.
It is definitely going to happen. So, but it's a ton of fun, and I so want one so bad, but I can't. We had fun. We had fun flying the drones, and yeah, that was Saturday. Then I don't know what else I did Saturday. Probably nothing. Sunday was yard work day because the sun came out.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Yep.
So I ended up. That's what I was doing to woodworking. So the wood that I brought home, I basically cut down into a board, like similar to one of these boards,
Mhm.
and trimmed down all the stuff. And what a pain in my fucking ball sack to make a square piece of wood from something that's all live edge like that, because you
Yeah.
have nothing to get square on.
Oh.
So it's
yeah.
like I don't like. Oh god,
Probably just got to make one cut and then go from there.
you would think that works, but it.
Not so much.
If you're trying to get perfection, that's it. It's close, but not quite.
then you just need to lower your expectations.
Which my expectations are lowered on this thing. Like if you don't put the fucking 90-degree thing on this when it's mounted on the wall, please. Remember, this is homemade. It's made with my own hands and love. Anyway, so I shaped it out and I bought some oak things, dowels. And then used oak dowels, and then the sword's going to mount on oak dowels, and I got some stained it up, and put 2 coats of poly on it, and I'm going to have to sand it and put another coat on, I think. Probably not tonight, maybe tomorrow night. And then I'd get a plaque for it, and then bam, I'll have that bitch mounted.
Nice.
So yeah, I had that going, and then while I was in between fucking staining and letting shit dry and whatever, I decided I was going to go out and take care of some of the overgrowth in the yard.
Take care of it.
Yeah, but with a giant pair of scissors. I didn't use a machete this year because
Last year is when you cut yourself, right?
last year's when I
That's right.
lost hold of a machete and put a hole in my leg that fucking basically leaked for a month and a half.
That was a year ago?
Almost.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't do that. I was using actual shears this time.
Okay.
And I was getting in there and getting at that. And poison ivy is, look, this is South Jersey, right? Poison ivy is everywhere. Birds shit it out and it grows wherever the fuck it wants, right?
Yeah, we got tons in our backyard.
Yeah. So, and any place where there is ivy, like on the ground, like out here, like ground ivy, like poison ivy can just like kind of like it just kind of shows up.
Yeah.
So, you have the ground ivy, which is a darker green, and then you have the Virginia creeper, which is like, the 5-leaf, kind of looks like a pot leaf.
Yeah.
That the poison ivy really loves to grow with that.
Mm.
So when you're looking at it, you're like, yeah, I can't really see if it's poison ivy or not. So, but I'm thankfully I've dealt with it enough where I'm like really careful. But there was so much fucking poison ivy back there. Like there was some like textbook examples of like, hey, do you want to know what a poison ivy branch looks like? Here it is.
Yeah.
Like with the leaves and the fucking berries and the whole fucking thing. It was a lot of fucking poison ivy.
That's when it's time to bring out the flamethrower. Just
Well, you got to be careful doing that because here's Dave's just the tip for fucking this week.
My penis is so smooth.
If you burn poison ivy, that oil gets aerosoled, and if you breathe that in, you can actually get
what?
poison ivy in your fucking. You can get that in your lungs.
Fuck.
Like in your breathing tube, in your lungs. What's the breathing tube called? Not your.
Well, the esophagus is
The esophagus is
food
for
goes.
food. It's the. Anyway, it'll come to me.
Yeah.
It's simple too, and I don't know why. Trachea.
That's for breathing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you can actually like once it's aerosol, you can breathe it in and get that shit like where it'll be in your fucking throat and it'll swell, and you could go into anaphylactic shock because of it.
Fuck.
Yeah. So don't burn poison ivy, kids.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. See, Dragon Buddy knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I clicked on it and it didn't work. There you go. This is your just a tip with Dave.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got rid of all that poison ivy. Not all of it. I got rid of a good amount of it, and I think I came out of it unscathed.
Good.
Like
good.
I
I felt like you would already know if.
Well, I mean, like my skin's so fucking sensitive. Like it would manifest itself pretty quickly.
Yeah, because I know the couple times that I've had it, it's been very quick.
Yeah, I used to. Man, when I was a kid, I could fucking roll around in that shit, and it wouldn't bother me in the slightest.
Right.
I think I got poison oak one time when I was a kid, and it was like, I don't know, it was in a really weird like spot, like on my side. Like I was in the woods in the summertime. I probably had my shirt off, and like it just got like on my side, and it got irritated.
Yeah.
And it was poison oak specifically, not because
I don't know what the difference is between the two. So
it's just different. It's just different. It's all the same shit, but here we have poison sumac, you have poison oak, and poison ivy. Poison ivy is the most prolific, but poison oak in like heavy wooded areas you'll get, and sumac is kind of around too.
Huh.
All different leaf structure. Google that shit.
And this is the point that he was making earlier, where he likes to know things.
I do like to know things.
Yes,
He
knows a lot of things.
One of the few things I did learn in Boy Scouts was this is what poison ivy is. This is what poison oak is. This is what poison sumac looks like.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and that stuck.
It's all making sense. How many years did you do that, Boy Scouts?
I mean, I was in Cub Scouts, but Cub Scouts was like having cookies at somebody's house, so like it really wasn't anything.
Sure.
And then there was Weeblos, which again, that's the name of it.
Weeblos.
Weeblos. Weeblos.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
So we're gonna get all these kids together, and
Yep.
we're gonna Weeblos.
My penis is so smooth.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go from Weeblos into Boy Scouts. It's all based on age.
Sure.
And before Cub Scouts, there's like Wolf Scouts and Bear Scout. There's like there's a whole gambit of it.
Wow.
But when I got into Boy Scouts, so if I don't count the other ones, because really they were just glorified fucking like coming over somebody's house on a Saturday to fucking have big cookies. But for Boy Scouts, when I first got into that troop, like it was a troop in town. It was Troop 84, and the Scoutmaster was like super into camping.
Mm-hmm.
Like his whole thing was if we're going on this trip, like we did something once a month,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, this one time per month, we're going on a no shit trip. Like pack everything up. Like we did the Appalachian Trail. We did all these different, like Hawk Mountain, all these places that were in the Maryland, Pennsylvania, like deep into New Jersey. You get a lot of troops. What they were doing, they go to like Pine Hill Scout Reservation for their trips.
Mm-hmm.
They get their little fucking, bring their little box out that has all the fucking shit in it so they can do camping. And then that's what they would do and not get any real experience out of it.
Right.
And I was lucky. I had a scoutmaster that didn't really give a shit about doing the merit badges and all the other stuff. He was just that we're going camping. And that's how I discovered a lot of places like Ricketts Glen State Park, which is with all the waterfalls and everything. Like I wouldn't know anything about that if I hadn't done it as a scout. And that's a great spot. And fucking Boy Scouts don't go there because it's fucking 4 hours away.
Right.
But anyway, that I probably did that for 3 or 4 years.
Wow. Okay.
He, that scoutmaster, he retired because his kids aged out, and the guy that took over was not as good. He was kind of a fat body, and was more interested in having meetings and not really doing anything and making sure that his kid got stuff
and naked pictures in case we need them for later.
So smooth.
Right. Let me tell you, right, for anybody who thinks that I was like, you look at and be like, oh, Dave must have been a fucking great Boy Scout, like Eagle Scout or anything else. No, I was not. I was a terrible fucking Boy Scout. In fact, I never made it past first class as a scout.
Oh, wow.
Because when I first got into Boy Scouts, it was, hey, we're going camping. We're going hiking. We're doing all this shit.
Yeah.
I was went on for our summer, like when we did our summer trip, our summer camp, I would lifeguard because I started lifeguarding at 13. Because for Boy Scouts, you could, BSA lifeguard, you could start doing it at 13. So I started lifeguarding at 13 and did that every summer. So every time I showed up, I had a job basically.
Right. Yeah.
And I did I think I did the environmental science, the astronomy, and the geology merit badge. I think I did each of those 3 times, just because that's what I like to do. The astronomy one, I had a great. We were at a camp down in Maryland. It was right on Chesapeake. I think have I told the sailing story?
Maybe.
When I got stuck out there and they had to come out with a whaler to come get me.
Okay, no.
All right, I'll get to that in a second. But this guy for astronomy, it started at 11 o'clock at night, and he was phenomenal. And this dude had us drawing the faces and phases of the moon.
Wow!
Like as part of our homework, and it was great. It such great experiences. Camp Rodney was the name of the camp. Camp Rodney on the Chesapeake. So you could sail there, right? So I had my sailing merit badge, right? But it was like legit sailing in the Sunfish, right? So it's small boat, single mast, and you could go out there into the Chesapeake and do your thing.
Sure.
So you go out, you get like a check ride. Basically, it says, okay, you can handle this thing. And so I go out there. And I'm probably 15, I think, 15, 16, no, at least probably 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
So I'm out there by myself in questionable weather.
Uh-oh.
Like, it wasn't red flag because they wouldn't let you out, but it was like, hey, we've seen him a bunch of times. We know he can handle himself. We're gonna let you go, even though it may get dicey later.
Oh, shit.
Right? Holy fuck. Bad idea. It was the worst ever. So I'm in this Sunfish, and suddenly I'm in the Chesapeake. I'm fucking out there. There's fucking 5-foot swells.
Oh,
shit. I'm in the Sunfish, like pitching up and down. I'm just like, I am completely out of my fucking element. and there's no tacking into the wind or anything else because I can't. When you're in a sunfish that's like 8 feet long and you're going vertical up a wave and then proceeding to immediately go vertical down the other side of it, there's no opportunity for the fucking sail to actually like hit some wind.
Right.
So I'm not able to do anything. So I'm just fucking out there just
getting the shit kicked out
of me. And they end up coming out there with this fucking motorboat, this whaler, this Boston whaler, and they come fucking. A guy hops into the fucking sunfish, and I get into the whaler, and they fucking take me back, and they're like, "Yeah, we probably shouldn't have let you out."
Wow.
But yeah, I was like, "Oh yeah, Dave could have drowned in the fucking Chesapeake because he got over his head."
Right. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was Dave. It was one of those made for TV movies, Dave in the Sea, out there pitching around.
Is that going to be in the book?
I mean, maybe, but it was. I was so fucking terrified that aside from, I can have vivid recollection of trying to find the beach, right? See the flags and find the beach, and not being able to like actually keep my eyes on the fucking horizon long enough to actually see the beach. That's how much the fucking thing was moving.
My God.
I was in deep shit.
Yeah.
I was in deep shit. So, yeah. But yeah, the Life of Pi Dave edition. Yeah, it's with no tiger. I needed a tiger there to fucking, but yeah, anyway, Scouts was this other scoutmaster, he wasn't as into camping, and Dave started to drift off into like, oh, I can do other things, like get into trouble by taking out a canoe and canoeing down to a girls' camp that was down the way. Like the shit that you hear in stories. There was legitimately like what was it? It's Treasure Island was the name of the camp. It's in Pennsylvania, and you could go down the river, and there was an actual like girls like scout camp or whatever.
Yeah,
and we went down there. And I wasn't like, it was me and this other kid that I coerced into fucking going with me. He was younger than I was. And it's not like you were going down there to fucking do anything. I wasn't like aware enough as a kid. I was just this nerdy kid that just happened to be able to, navigate my way through these things. And I could talk people into going with me. And yeah, we ended up like fucking with these girls in this thing, like in the, like when they're in the heads, we'd be banging on the doors and shit.
Shit.
It was so fun. Yeah, gotten deep shit for that. Deep shit. And I had a sheath knife on me too, which is it's verboten in fucking Boy Scouts. Like you cannot have a sheath knife.
Really?
Oh yeah. And by sheath knife, when I say sheath knife, I don't mean like not like this, right? Not like this size where it's like, oh, this is almost reasonable, right? And of course I had this in grabbing distance because that's what you do.
Because Dave always has at least one knife on him.
There may be 3 on my person. But no, it was an M16 bayonet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was cool.
Yeah.
I it was fun to show off. But apparently, again, the leadership wasn't thrilled that I had an M16 bayonet with me. Go figure. Yeah, I got into deep shit that trip. That was not a great trip, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot. Learned a lot about life on that trip.
I bet.
But yeah, scouting was. I know Vickers, he had his kids involved in Scouts, and he was involved in it, which means that they the experience that they got because Vickers is kind of the same ilk.
Yeah.
And I think that if I didn't have that first Scoutmaster, I wouldn't have lasted a year in it. But because we were doing cool trips and getting to do all the stuff, and we were out leaving the friendly confines of fucking Camden County, New Jersey, it made it worth our while. But otherwise, with that other guy, I was like, fucking see ya.
Yeah.
And all I did was get into trouble. So, yeah, I was not a good Boy Scout. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I was not a good Boy Scout. But, I had adventures.
Oh, it sounds like it.
Yeah, it was
cool.
It was a thing. It was a good time.
Nice.
Did I do anything for my week? Did I talk about my week?
I don't know how we got onto the Scouts.
Poison Ivy, I think, is what got us to the Scouts.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because you were doing yard work.
I didn't get Poison Ivy, and I made a thing for my dad's sword.
Oh, yeah.
Which log into our Discord channel and go to the restoration station, and you can see the progress we're making on said sword thingy.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. So that's it. Talked a lot about
All right.
nonsense.
Well, I mean, we might as well roll right into the main topic then.
I mean, we let's.
I don't know what all that was, so I was just letting it play out.
Fuck it. Do it live.
So yeah, Tales of the Empire. So just like Tales of the Jedi from last year,
Right.
it was stories about two different characters, and they each get 3 episodes. Whereas last year it was Dooku and Ahsoka. This year it's Morgan Elspeth and Barriss Offee.
Right.
So, and it starts off with the Morgan Elspeth episodes, and this first one was called The Path of Fear. Now, first of all, before we get into any of this, animation in these was fucking incredible. Like,
Yeah.
it seemed significantly better than even like Clone Wars animation. I don't know why, but
Well, and it's funny too because when you're looking at it, it's like you're looking at this is the style of animation we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
However, it's fucking better.
yes,
It's tighter. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like,
yeah, that's
My
exactly.
penis so smooth.
It's just better. Like when you look at Morgan
Yeah,
Ellsworth.
I think it's Elspeth, Elsbeth. I call her Elspeth
Elspeth.
with the P.
Elspeth.
Either way.
Anyway, when you look at her, you're like, holy fuck, that's her. Like you can see, even though it's a young version of her,
Yeah.
like you can see the character in this animated portrayal.
Yep.
And it's fucking brilliant because on the surface, if you don't know any better, like it shouldn't. It has no business looking as good as it does, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you get so many scenes with like fucking Star Destroyers and lightsaber battles that they just all look so fucking good. So
Yeah.
just, if for nothing else, watch it for the animation because it's, top tier.
Yeah, this was at our non-spoilers thing.
Sure.
We're going to get into spoilers.
Oh, yeah. We're getting into spoilers. So,
We're doing spoilers.
yeah. But I mean, these came out 2 weeks ago at this point.
sacred Jedi.
I couldn't remember if we just had it isolated, but that works.
There's one that's isolated also.
Oh, it's on the other page though, right?
Yeah.
Or is it?
My penis so smooth.
37. My girlfriend sucked 37.
Do it live.
My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
Do it live.
Oh, Dave.
It's funny every time.
Yeah. So anyway, this first episode is called The Path of Fear. And it starts off with the fucking separatists basically exterminating Dathomir.
Right.
Which we knew, happened years prior, like Dooku, whenever he was done with the Night Sisters, just,
Yep.
And you get some great shots of Morgan Elspeth and her mom as they're kind of running away from the droid army, trying to kind of fight them off a little bit, but clearly they're outnumbered and outmatched.
Right.
And we get a good shot of Grievous. So, they're running away, right? They're running from all the blaster fire, and then you see like a green lightsaber go through with this fucking this Dathomiri chick. And you're like, what the fuck is a Jedi there? And then of course it's Grievous. So you got the fake out. It's like, he got me.
See.
But fuck, man, when Grievous fought the mom, that was a badass scene where she had the fucking the sickles.
Yeah,
And
and it was a good scene. There was, I think the only thing I took issue with that particular scene, I don't know. There's something that just kind of felt a little squishy with the canon for me. I don't know if it's just because of the from playing Force Unleashed. No,
Jedi Survivor.
Thank you.
No, Fallen Order is where you go to Dathomir.
Right, Fallen Order.
Yeah.
From playing Fallen Order and being on Dathomir and like, interacting with old girl, whose name again is escaping me. Fuck my brain.
It's okay.
Oh, I can see her face.
The Dathomiri chick who you
Right.
befriend, and I think he fucks her later, right? In Jedi Survivor.
I mean, it's implied.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Rule 34 of that, but I'm sure it's implied. But yeah, there's just something felt a little squishy with the canon there. But all in all, it wasn't. It wasn't heinous. It wasn't. It wasn't egregious.
No, and again, we got some great action sequences out of it. When Grievous is fighting the mom, she's got like his two lightsabers like kind of held with the skies there, and then you see like a blue saber go through, and I'm
Right.
like, oh shit, a Jedi! Oh, it was another Grievous fake out.
It's his third arm. Like
Yeah, but
gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, it was funny because I got faked out by Grievous twice.
I'm
like, who's that?
Well, I was wondering. I legit was wondering, like, does he not have his other two arms yet? I was like, was this an add-on that he, had to fight more fucking? Oh, you got to fight more demons and to earn your other two arms in a fucking add-on.
Yeah.
Pay to play.
But apparently no, he was just he was
toying. He's just playing with his food.
Pretty much.
Laughing the whole time.
Yeah. At one point, he uses the line, "Wipe them out, all of them."
Yeah.
Obviously, throwback to Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
we just saw.
And then he's like, run. I mean,
yeah.
Which I really thought it was cool because that level of being that sadistic, right, and having that level of terror. Like if this was how because the battle droids seemed so innocuous, right? Whenever we see them, the Jedi mow them down like crazy.
And that was always the intention of them, was just for the Jedi to easily cut down in droves.
They're just fodder.
Yeah.
But the ones that were with Grievous were like, obviously they were the special round-headed ones.
Yeah, which we've seen in all kinds of other canon.
So, and you probably have at least one.
I don't think I do have a Black Series of the one with the short head. I don't know if they even made those yet.
They had to have made it.
I don't know.
So chat, get on that. See if it's out there.
Prove me wrong.
But yeah, Grievous being that, basically that tyrannical and that horrific, where people are afraid of him, and this is why he has this like huge reputation.
Yeah, because we don't really get the glimpse of that part of him in, say, Revenge of the Sith.
No.
He's almost like a comic relief.
Yeah, he's a sick old man at times. So he's got the cough. He's kind of, he's moving around still, and he's fine, but it's just not.
Yeah.
He's like at the end of his like lifespan. It's almost like what has a short lifespan, like a moth or a locust or something, right? Only has it's
right. And you got to remember, like,
shorter lifespan.
All of him is just like right here in the torso area, because that's all the organic that's left.
Yeah, it's like a carapace almost, where it's like he's a bug inside this, and he's only designed to live for so long. So it's like, okay, let's fucking mix him up. All right, get him going. Go out there. Here's a couple lightsabers, some mechanical arms, and go scare people.
Yeah. But to your point, like, it was great in this because he was, very just sadistic and just kind of like, run.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And that was just the intro.
Right.
And that's the thing, like, it gets me almost every one of these episodes. It's like a lot of shit's going on. I'm like, fuck. and then boom,
Star Wars.
skip intro. I'm like, that was the intro. So yeah, I had a lot of moments like that.
Yeah, skip intro. If you leave it go, it's you're skipping like 0.5 of a second.
Right.
Like,
It was
you're not
just-
skipping anything.
Yeah, it was the same with the Bad Batch. It's like, why? Why even have that? It's going to take you just as long to make sure you click the right button.
It's to make you think you have control. It gives you the
The illusion
The
of control.
illusion, yes.
Ah, I see. It's how they're reprogramming us.
uh-huh.
That's fine.
And it works.
Yeah. I mean, the Matrix is more relevant now than ever.
Facts. Big facts.
Mark Maron made a good joke. He was talking about it's like people who were like big conspiracy theorists, like especially like during the Bush years, like the 8 years of Bush, and you know the people are like, man, they're gonna round us up and we're gonna all be in camps, man. And he's like, well, how do you know we're not already in them? You know, like. What do we do? We're fucking cattle, you know?
Yeah.
We herd ourselves to work. We fucking do the work all day. Then we come home and we rest a little bit, you know, sit in front of a screen, watch TV, play a video game or whatever, and then get up and go do the same fucking thing again. Like, how do we know we're not oh my God.
Well, yeah, this is the in-show chat. So this is from before. I don't know.
Oh, and Bronco Fett is proving that they do have a Black Series figure of
Yes.
the shorter head battle droids.
Yes, there he is.
And what are they calling it? They've got a name. Like, they've got a specific name for that style of battle droid. I can't remember what it is, though.
George.
The George battle droids.
The George droid.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. Damn it.
So getting back to Morgan Elspeth. So yeah, when the show resumes, she's basically being rescued by another tribe on Dathomir, the Mountain Clan,
Right.
which, you know,
Because they live in the mountains.
yeah, and I guess that would make sense because Dathomir is an entire planet, so it doesn't necessarily mean that the Night Sisters control the whole fucking
Right?
planet.
Yeah, we forget. You know, there's so many times, like even when we're playing the video games,
Yeah,
and this is an entire fucking planet.
yeah.
And here I am in this one area thinking like, oh, I'm dominating this whole thing. No, you're not. This is like this small area.
So small.
So small.
My penis is smooth.
I have fat fingers. There's giant buttons, and I still managed to hit multiple buttons.
Oh, you didn't do that on purpose.
No, I didn't.
My penis
I meant to
is
do that,
smooth.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
it was like just the.
My penis is smooth.
It's my.
My penis is smooth. My penis is
Okay, are you done?
smooth.
Oh my God.
My
This is what happens when Dave gets the soundboard.
My penis is my penis is smooth. My penis is smooth.
You need a record scratch on there now. You need
Penis is smooth.
penis, so
My
schmo.
penis is
All right, I'm done. What was I doing?
Oh my God, I don't even know.
I don't
So
know
yeah,
either.
no, we're the Mountain Clan.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So she gets picked up by the Mountain Clan, and you know they're treating her well. They rescue her. They fucking feed her. They offer her, you know, to stay with them, and she's still being like a prick to them.
Right. Well, I mean, her entire like existence just got wiped out.
Fair. Yeah.
And then so she wakes up on the floor of this hut or whatever.
Yeah.
Like wakes up on the floor at a teepee with a bunch of strangers around her. Right? And then they're like, "All right, let's go see what this fucking day has brought," or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they take her outside and her entire fucking world is basically burning.
Yeah.
And then it's like, "Hey, you can stay with us." You know, if you want.
Yeah.
Like, some silver spoons shit happening right now. And she's just like, this is not the time. This is not the time. Let her have her moment. Like, how about you just,
Silver spoons.
you know, silver spoons, the show. Silver spoons?
Yeah, wasn't it about a kid and his dad and they were rich? Are you thinking Different Strokes?
I'm probably thinking different strokes.
Okay. All right.
I'm probably
Because
thinking
yeah,
Different
that's where the two kids go and live with the old white guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like silver spoons better.
Yeah.
We'll just go with it.
It's been a long time since I've seen that show.
Long time. I don't even know why. I don't even know how that I don't know how that circulated forward.
Uh-huh.
Like there's some pump in there that was like, all right, we're squirting this penguin forward,
Yeah.
and it's like,
One
okay.
you haven't thought about in a long time.
right? hey, remember silver spoons? No. Well, here it is.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Ricky Schroeder.
That's right. He had the train, right? He had that train
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
rode on. Like,
Yeah.
he had the train. Everyone went, "Ah, man, I really want to have a train inside that I can ride.
Yeah.
Do I remember anything else about that show? No, I do not.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so so she wakes up. She's with the Mountain Clan, and they. As soon as she wakes up too, like her Dathomiri tattoos like all fade away,
Oh yeah,
and as like the Night Sister magic
right.
is extinguished.
Because reasons.
Yeah, I guess that's how that works.
Yeah. Well, it's a convenient way of doing it, I guess.
Yeah. So this whole time, while she's like kind of like moping around, again, I understand, whole existence just wiped out, blah, blah, blah. Like some of the other younger folks in this Mountain Clan are starting to be like, well, hey, if they're doing it to her fucking people, what's going to stop them from coming up here and doing this to us?
A legitimate fucking thing to be worried about.
Yes. Yes.
Like, you were close enough to the destruction where you could see it.
It's like right there.
It's like, hey, that's on fire. I can smell bodies burning.
Yeah.
Kind of, it smells like chicken cooking from here. Do you think they can see us? Nah, we'll be good. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we get into basically a Last Jedi situation where they go to the mother of the tribe, and they're like, we need to figure out a way to defend ourselves just in case they come for us. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. Have faith. Where if she had just said, oh, by the way, I'm some super fucking powerful witch myself.
I can kick ass. Ah!
If she had done that and just said it, then, they wouldn't have had to go look for weapons, and her fucking daughter wouldn't have died.
Right. She brought it upon herself.
Yeah.
She must be part Jedi.
Yeah.
That's a very Jedi thing to do. She sits on the council. She fucking like, I'm never wrong.
Yeah.
Like, now you're ostracized because you fucking didn't listen to me, you twat.
Mhm.
So now go ahead and do your own thing, which is going to lead you to fucking help Admiral Thrawn at the end. Spoiler
hold
alert.
on. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. I see what your future is as she's fucking walking away after her, carrying her daughter's dead body.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, you could have been like, hey, you know what? Valid that they could fucking spot us. Maybe we put some camouflage on some shit. Maybe,
Right.
Maybe we'll just do something like cover our fucking boot marks.
Well, but again, like I said, it's like The Last Jedi when Poe's like, hey, what's the plan? And she's like, I don't have to tell you the plan.
Right.
And then they have to go on some whole side adventure because she didn't
Right.
just say, oh yeah, we're going to that planet right there.
Right.
Or this bitch could have just been like, oh yeah, no, I'm super fucking strong
Yeah.
with the witch powers, so I got this.
Maybe she had like purplish hair, didn't she? It was more blue,
Yeah.
which is
Well, they had those, like, buns on
shade
and
of purple. Maybe it was close to almost being purple, which means
Maybe she's the mother of Admiral Purple Hair.
Admiral Halsey.
Yeah.
No, Haldo.
Yeah, because this is the time of the Clone Wars.
I just put those two things together. Haldo,
Uh-huh.
Halsey,
What's like Halsey the singer?
Admiral Halsey.
Who the fuck is that?
He's like a super famous admiral from olden times.
Oh. In the real world?
Yes, in real world.
Okay, just making sure.
In the real world.
Because we're talking Star Wars here.
I know, but like it's one of those things where it wouldn't surprise me if like that bled over.
Yeah.
Like how World War II stuff kind of bleeds over into
Oh, sure. Yeah.
other things. Anyway, let's just move along.
Yeah. Just checking to see if I have any other notes for this particular episode. Yeah, they go to the weapons cache. The fucking droid army comes just as they expected. Her daughter fucking bites it. And yeah, and then the mom just like, again, like just kind of a prick to
Yeah.
Morgan.
Pound sand, bitch.
Yeah, like I've seen your future. I pity you.
Right.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I said if I was Morgan. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Stands there with everything burning behind her.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yes. You contributed to this, you fucking twat. Hey, maybe there's a reason we never see these people again.
Right.
Probably because you were exterminated?
Yeah, I could see Morgan even going back and just being
Right.
like, fuck these guys. I'm
Or going like, hey, Hey, remember that when you went to Dathomir and you thought like, oh, we got everybody? I got a tip for you. You didn't.
Yeah.
You need to go back and write about here and here and here.
She tips off Dooku and just
Right.
tells him right where the fucking clans
I
are.
need you to go ahead and fire the guns, all the guns.
So that was the first episode. It was decent, but I think they got better as they go along. In fact, we're going to go right to the next one, the Path of Anger. So the first path was the Path of Fear. Now
Right.
we're on anger.
I sense a trend.
Fear leads to anger.
Right.
Who knows what the last episode is going to be called. But this is the one where it starts off over Coruscant, and you get that fucking badass shot of the Star Destroyer and like 6 of the cruisers from the Clone Wars, like kind of below it, but then one Star Destroyer over it, which again kind of shows that transition
Right.
from Clone Wars time to Empire time.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was just a fucking sweet shot. And it starts with Morgan Elspeth pitching the idea for the TIE Defenders.
Yes.
Which, you know, we know all about those because of Thrawn
Right.
in Rebels. That was
Yep.
like a big thing. You know, he was constantly fighting Tarkin for fucking funding and, you know, trying to get it off the ground.
Yeah, because the TIE Defender was in Thrawn's mind more. It was the key to fucking protecting the Empire.
Yes.
More so than the fucking Death Star was.
Yeah, because he knew like one super weapon was not a smart idea. We
Right.
need, you know, something a little bit more tactical. And this was the answer.
Right. And I love seeing the TIE Defender on the screen like that, and that
Yeah.
it still kind of lives because we're what? Shit. When did we first I remember seeing the TIE Defender in the TIE Pilot game, the TIE Fighter game in like that, what was it, 94?
94.
Hey, I celebrate my memory for actually knowing which button to hit. Yeah, you know what? I have to look that up because I should know that. It's my favorite video game ever. I'm pretty sure it was 94 or 95.
Sure.
But
Either way, TIE Defender was in there.
yeah, it was in there, and it was like the most advanced fighter that you were going to get once you moved up into the ranks to the point where it's like, okay, you know, now you can fly the most advanced thing.
Yeah.
And you could, you know, jump into light speed and jump into hyperspace and do everything.
Yeah.
Although you could in a TIE Advance also, but this thing outperformed the TIE Advance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, come to find out, Morgan Elspeth was the designer of this, which, you know, kind of like perfectly ties her story in with Thrawn's as we go through this. And, you know, she's making this pitch to the Empire. The fucking dickhead admirals that were there listening just kind of blew her off. Well, first they asked her like, oh, well, how are you going to actually make all these? And she's like, well, I'm from Corvus and I have all of these, you know, we have all these rich minerals and you know, all these resources. And then they're like, yeah. So about that, we're going to come to Corvus and that's ours now.
right. Yeah, thanks for verifying. We kind of knew, but now that you verified it, we're going to go ahead and
Yeah.
we're going to show up. You should probably go back there and get ready for us
Mm-hmm.
to be there. And you will do it.
You will do it.
20 July 1994.
Okay. So you were right.
Woohoo!
94.
94.
And then after they all leave, Captain Paleon comes in, which, you know, we know him from all the Thrawn books, from the Legends time, and then they brought him into current canon because he was always the guy that served under Thrawn. And he came and talked to her, and he's like, just put a pin in this. We may be speaking again soon.
Right.
My boss likes your idea. And then kind of leaves it at that. So we go back to Corvus. Now that was all the intro. Now we're on to the actual show. And Corvus is the fucking place where she was when we first meet her in Mandalorian. That
Right.
episode where you see live action Ahsoka for the first time.
Mhm.
You know, she's in that fucking that city encampment and everything.
Right.
With
With the same fucking that
old Asian guy.
Yep, the tribal leader or whatever.
Yeah. And I think even the guy came back to do that voice too. Because, you know,
Makes sense.
the actress that does Morgan Elspeth, she came back to voice her in this, so
Right.
that would make sense. But yeah, they get there and the locals are like pissed because she kind of took over as the magistrate for this place under the promise that she was gonna make a deal with the empire and bring them prosperity and riches, and now she's like, well, you're still gonna be working a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah, the empire's on the way.
Yeah, they're kind of you're going to be enslaved.
Yeah.
That's basically what's going to happen. Welcome to conscripted servitude. I'll be in here with my fucking koi pond, sharpening my fucking spear of my staff of Ra, and yeah, you guys go about your business.
So yeah, they're all pissed off at her, and she's like, I don't understand. Like I'm trying to do what they want, and then she has this realization as she's like standing up on that kind of balcony looking down on them, and she's like, these aren't my people. Fuck them. So
Right.
she just had this realization as she's sitting there. She's like kind of talking to herself, and then she's basically like, yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, fuck Canada.
And that's when she gets attacked by a Nogri, which again ties back to Thrawn, to the old Legends material.
Yeah.
He had the Nogri working for him, these fucking little assassins that were just like masters at hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, and the Nagri also were protectors for Leia.
Yes.
It was one of Leia's bodyguards, which
Because
turned into one of Alana's bodyguards.
Yeah.
Later on. If you don't know where we're talking about,
Legends material. Yes.
And you missed out.
But I love how they're bringing all of this stuff from Thrawn's past in canon and Legends, like into this thing. Captain Paleon, the fucking Nogri.
Yep.
Oh, it's great. It was fucking just really good way to tie all of this in. She beats the Nogri. She she kind of gets him down and like asks him who the fuck sent you, and then that's when old Captain Paleon shows up again. He's like, hey, remember me?
Hey, please don't stab him.
Yeah, we need him.
First of all, please.
Yeah.
Second of all, we had to prove that you were up to the task.
Yeah.
Like, all right, what were you proving with this? Like, and that's what Morgan, like, what, proving that I know kung fu? Like, what exactly were you trying to prove here?
Right.
Like,
well, apparently Thrawn needs, good fighters.
Right.
I
know kung fu. Show me.
Oh, save the Matrix references. Trust me, we've got all month next month to talk about that
this
stuff.
Is true. Yeah.
But yeah, so then Thrawn shows up, and it's this scene where like you don't even know he's there, and then all of a sudden he's talking, and then we did this.
It's the perfect voice.
Yeah, and then she looks over, and he's like right there. He's like, oh, hello. He looked great, by the way. He looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was like the voice was perfect.
Yeah, of course they got the same guy.
Yeah, and it was yeah, it was well done. I appreciated their attention to detail with that.
Yeah, and then he, kind of goes off on this diatribe about, he essentially predicts the end of the Empire. Talking about the way all these admirals are squabbling for profits and, their own self-interests, and how it's eventually going to erode the Empire from within. And basically it's going to fall. And he's sitting there and he's like, he knows it. He's like, this is the, shit's gonna happen, and eventually all this is gonna go to shit. But in the meantime, I need you to help me with this fucking rebellion thing that's going on. So I kind of want you on my side. I like your designs.
Yeah, I like that. Like, so what bothered it? So I like this exchange, and I like his we know this insight that he has because we know his background.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of, when I watched this the first time, I didn't really think about it as much, but when I watched this the second time, I got a little bit more annoyed with Ahsoka, like the show Ahsoka, and the fact that we have to deal with Thrawn being like back in the galaxy. Like he's
Right,
he's
right.
back into the picture, back into the canon.
Yeah, with whatever remnant he has with him.
Yeah,
you know?
and it just is like, oh man, it's out there as this real thing, and Thrawn is not. It's not a trifle to just write off,
Right.
Like you decided to keep the fucking Bad Batch alive. Like if I'm going to criticize anything Dave Filoni's doing, it's like, okay, I like what you're doing with this, but I'm also looking at you kept the Bad Batch alive. Fuck you.
Well, and
and then you have Thrawn hanging out there.
right, when, like, for instance, the Bloodline book, right? The one
Yeah.
about Leia, and, it's dealing with all the politics of the New
Mhm.
Republic and all that. You would think that, like, something like Thrawn coming back would have been
Right.
something that would have been addressed during that book.
That would have been huge, because that circle of the Admiralty, that was, those Moffs that were part of the remnant
Yeah.
that were getting together and everything else. Moff was never a part of that.
Thrawn, you mean?
Thrawn was never
Yeah.
a part of that. Yeah, because Moff is the title, not
Right.
a person. Thrawn was never a part of that.
Yes.
So yeah, it is. It's a thing that hangs out there, and it didn't bother me when like I said, when I first saw it, but when I second time I through, and I'm like playing it out in my head.
But
like,
that's
as
not a
we go through.
criticism of this show. That's more a criticism of Ahsoka and what they're doing.
It's
with
just
that.
it's where my brain went as we were like standing here talking to Thrawn.
Right. But this is perfectly normal because he's just an admiral. He's not even a grand admiral at this point.
Right.
So
He's not in his white outfit yet.
yeah. So this is before even Rebels, and and it's a great exchange he has with Morgan. And he asks her too, like, why do you seek favor with the Empire? Because Paleon asked her the same thing. See, support the Empire. And she just told Paleon, for the glory of the Empire. And Thrawn's like, okay, why are you really doing this?
Right. Okay. Sure. Whatever. Long live the sun.
Yeah. Fuck the sun. I fucking hate it too.
Yeah.
And then she's like, fine, revenge. And she's like, because my whole fucking world was destroyed, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sitting here thinking now, like, well, who do you want revenge against? Like, who's left? Okay, she was really just like looking out at the fucking city. Like, are you like seeking vengeance on these people who turned on you? Is that your revenge that you're looking for?
Like, yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone, it seems like, well, there's, she says something. I can't remember exactly what her little speech was, or she actually says, she alludes to like what before she burns the place. Like, she kind of alludes to what her end game is.
Oh, that's the third episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, so she basically tells him revenge, and then like as soon as that exchange is over, 3 more fucking Star Destroyers show up. Yeah, another great shot. Good stuff. I love a good Star Destroyer. Just such a beautiful thing.
Oh my god.
Which, by the way, a coworker of mine, one of the 3D printer coworkers, he did a Star Destroyer about like this long, about this high. It looks so fucking good.
Is it, what kind of printer does he have?
3D printer? I don't know. Apparently he paid like $500 for it a few years ago, or a year or two. No, last year. Yeah, I think he just bought it last year.
Doesn't really narrow it down for me. Like,
Yeah,
is it a resin printer? Is it
I don't
a bamboo?
know.
Like,
yeah, I mean, I can ask him.
you suck again.
Anyway, he has a nice Star Destroyer that he printed up and he's got on his desk, and I'm like,
I know.
If I had a 3D printer, I'd make like 10 of those. And then Kristen would yell at me like, why do you have all this shit in the house? I'm like, I don't know, but they're so cool looking.
Right. I just want them to all fly right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Oh, and then I
Yeah.
start hanging them from the ceiling. And
That's the. So you think that, and then when you're 3D printing something, and it's like, okay, that one didn't work. I'm going to print it again, and it's a process.
right.
At least with the cheaper printers, like you get the higher end ones, you get.
Yeah, one coworker I have has like a $1,400 printer, which is apparently pretty nice.
Yeah, yeah. Some of those are pretty legit.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So the Star Destroyers show up at the end. Thrawn's like, "They're yours. This is going to help you get started with our new project,
Yeah.
which consists of enslaving the people and
Right.
taking all the resources.
So all of these people here, right?
Yeah.
Are they hard workers?
They will be.
So how do they respond to the cattle prod? That the cattle prods are whips.
Well, you got to remember, in that episode of Mandalorian where we were introduced to this, they had those fucking shock cages. Remember? They were in those like pillars where they if they fucking move, they got shocked.
Some medieval shit.
Yeah,
putting people all right, here's the people that they done fucked up, and they're on display.
Yeah,
and they're gonna shit right where they're fucking posted up.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they die in there, maybe they don't.
Yeah. So,
dude, the world was. Human beings are fucking
awful.
Yeah. Just absolutely awful. Like, not that long ago. In the grand scheme of things, not that long ago.
Oh, I know.
And there's still human beings that just have that same fucking mentality. They just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's that.
Nothing you can't accomplish when you don't give a fuck about another person.
Yeah. I mean, I have my fair share of lack of empathy.
Yeah.
But back in those days.
Yeah. And I mean, fucking slavery has been in existence in some form or another since we, established first societies, as humans.
Dude, I'm reading, this is a weird sidebar, but I'm reading this, I should be reading the fucking Tales of the Crappy Council book, but I'm trying to finish this. It's a book about piracy in the Caribbean, like in the early 1700s, and it's about like the big pirates that were in those days.
Yeah,
and it's closer to, I guess, what the sexy kind of pirate image is, as far as the lifestyle and everything else.
Sure, like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Where they invade this fucking town, burn it down, and they're drinking.
Like,
fucking...
Yeah, it's closer to something like that.
Yeah.
Out taking prizes, and it's very interesting to kind of read about. But what it reminds me of is just you're talking in the 1700s, right? This is 1716 is like where I'm at right now in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking 60 years before the Declaration of Independence is signed.
Yeah.
So that's less than 300 years ago.
Yeah. Which, again, is not that long in the grand scheme of things.
And they had they traded slaves like nobody. Like, it is unbelievable how much it was a part of everything that happened in the Caribbean. Like, between the Caribbean and Africa, like Madagascar, like across to the Caribbean into South America, and just like the amount of people that were being moved. And it wasn't just like, between the white Spanish and the white English. It was the South Americans. It was the natives in Madagascar and in all these areas. And it was just that's just part of how it was. And it's just crazy to think about in a span of 300 years, how far we've come. Like, just like, I guess in my brain, when I think you're thinking about cosmic stuff, where you're thinking like millions of light years and billions of light years away, like how old is the cosmos and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think more about stuff like that.
I think about that every single day.
And then you turn around and you think about like something that happened on Earth on our continent, and it was only 300 years ago, which seems like a long fucking time because it was beyond our lifetime, but it really, recorded history is not that fucking long in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. And in all of that recorded history, there was slavery.
Yeah.
And just like, it blows my mind when I'm reading a book like that. And it just, the timelines that they're saying, they're not saying like 1400, 1500, they're saying 1716.
Yeah.
And this is like such a huge part of it. So anyway, weird sidebar, but yes.
Yeah, as Elspeth takes on a different form of slavery, more. What's the one where you basically you have to work for them?
Indentured servitude.
Yes. It's essentially that, but probably slavery too, because again, the torture machines and everything else.
Right.
So we moved to the final episode of this, the Path of Hate. So it was the Path of Fear, the Path of Anger, and the Path of Hate.
Until you said that just like 10 minutes ago, I didn't make that connection until you said it.
Really?
Yeah, the path. The path. I just didn't make that connection.
Yeah.
Anger leads to, or
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate.
I didn't put that together.
Oh, well.
Yeah, there you go.
Now you have.
I learned something.
See, we do it live.
37.
do it live.
My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
Do it live.
So we now, in this third episode, we flash forward to a time after Return of the Jedi, still on Corvus.
Right.
Everything's still kind of running as, smooth as Morgan Elspeth,
Right.
has been running things.
As much as a slave driver can run things.
Yep. And fucking Lizard Girl, who was in the episode where all the people were yelling at her like, fuck you didn't get us the work.
Right.
She was one of them, this lizard chick that comes back. But now she's like part of the New Republic. And
Right.
she's got like 4 guards with her. She's in like a robe and she's like, open the doors in the name of the New Republic.
Right. I am powerful because I'm a diplomat.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that works out for her.
Diplomatic immunity.
Just been revoked.
There's a reference that a lot of kids don't get.
Yeah, even people our age, I don't know how many of them would get that reference.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Shame. I could just picture his big dumb face.
Oh, yeah.
Like the South African. Like that was a great fucking Lethal Weapon.
Oh, it was fucking phenomenal.
That was a great Lethal Weapon movie. Fucking Joe Pesci
Oh, yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It was. That was.
We're talking about Lethal Weapon 2, by the way,
Yes,
for
Lethal Weapon
anybody
2.
who's wondering what the fuck we're talking about. Anyway, so yeah, things are running pretty smoothly until the New Republic shows up, and she goes up to Elspeth and she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna make you part of the New Republic, but you just have to step down, and then we're gonna arrest you, and then Corvus will be part of the New Republic."
Right. And all will be well.
Yeah, and of course, Morgan's like, "No."
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So she just basically orders them to kill her. Like
Right.
orders her guards to kill her. And they kill off all of her security. And just like in cold blood, just right there, she's running back towards her ship, her little fucking R2 unit. Oh, R2, call for help.
Right.
And it goes up into the thing. You think she's going to get away. She's getting close to her ship. And then they throw a bunch of fucking mines on it. And then boom.
Yep.
Fucking droid's gone. She's fucking killed by the fucking blast.
Well, she's knocked down.
Well,
right? Well, if mortally wounded.
yes.
Right. So that
So she can make one last.
old Asian guy comes up and it's like, no, you were so. It was so close. I told you not to do this. You're such an idiot. I knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then she's like, here, take this comlink. It's gonna save us all.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way up until the point where Morgan walks up and goes, no.
Yeah.
Clunk. Here's your fucking comlink.
Now, of course,
Get back to work.
you heard who was on the comlink, right?
I forget.
It was Bo-Katan. It was Katie Sackhoff's voice.
I missed that.
And she's like, yeah, I received your distress signal because going back to the Mandalorian, when he was trying to find a home for Grogu, he's helping out Bo-Katan, right? And she's like, all right, go to the planet Corvus. You're going to meet Ahsoka Tano there.
Right.
Which is what led him there in the first place. So it probably, she got the fucking distress call. She was probably close to Ahsoka somewhere and be like, hey, you want to go check on this place that, is having some bad stuff? So like, I envision this to be like a week before Ahsoka shows up. Like where this takes place in the canon is like literally a week before Mando and Ahsoka show up.
Almost want to rewatch it and see if there's like the wreckage of the ship, like kind of in the background. Right?
Oh yeah. Well, cause I mean, you see the forest is charred.
Yeah.
Because after she, makes sure that, all the Republic people are dead, she has her people just fucking burn the fucking forest outside of the base there.
Burn everything.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure, just based on observation, that this is like right before fucking Mando and Ahsoka show up.
And honest, this was some pretty chilling shit too, because you think like, oh, here's the out, right? Here's the comm link, and this is going to be your connection to the outside, and then having her come out there and be like, nope.
Oh yeah, and like, what did she say? She said something like, "No one is coming."
Right.
Yeah, as like her last line.
That's some cold shit.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we need more of this. We need more of this in fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
So what we should have had in fucking Bad Batch, you Filoni, you pussy.
Yeah, but no, I mean, these 3 episodes are all pretty fucking dark.
Yeah.
Honestly.
As they should be, because I mean, obviously Morgan was driven to. I mean, she was already, she was a Dathomiri witch, right? So she was already kind of leaning that way, right? But having all that shit happen to you, and then you're put on a mission by the blue guy, obviously that's going to mean a lot.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I loved how over these 3 episodes they perfectly tied in her whole story to where she got to.
Yeah.
When we started Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Now we know how she, befriended Thrawn. We know about the TIE Defenders. This is how it was brought to his attention.
Right.
And then clearly she started getting like visions from the fucking Dathomir sisters that were in the other galaxy, and that's how she got Thrawn, or how she got out there to rescue Thrawn.
Yeah. I had a thought about this. I wanted to wait until we got to this point, and fuck if I can't remember what the hell it was, but it was. I really like what they did to get us to this point, because this was a really, really clean, like 3 parts, even though it's relatively short.
It's not a bad thing though.
Yeah, it really got the job done.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, here was this, and here was this, and then here was this.
Yeah.
I don't remember there being a point where I was like, okay, we're missing something here. Like,
yeah, no, they told 3 complete stories that all perfectly tied into the current canon.
Yeah.
And kind of explained a couple of things that we had questions about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought this was great.
Yeah. Yeah, God damn it, I can't remember. It'll probably come back to me when we're talking about the next thing.
Yeah, well, and the last scene was her walking away from the fire.
Yeah.
Too, like just her with the fucking spear, the Beskar spear, which we never found out how she got that, but oh well. But yeah, she's walking away from the fucking fire that's burning behind her, and that's how the episode ends.
Fire!
Yeah. It was good, man. Like, these 3 episodes were fucking dark, and like you said, they told a good comprehensive story in the short amount of time it had to tell it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and personally, like, before we start talking about the next 3, I think these 3 were more conclusive than the next 3 are going to be.
I agree. And I mean, for me personally, the first 3 were my favorites of the 2 stories. Now, this second one isn't a bad story per se, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But anything else on the Morgan Elspeth half?
Not until I remember what I was trying to think of.
All right, fair enough. So we'll move on. Now we go into the Barisafi stories, which we remember.
Oh, I remember.
Okay. Well.
Aha! No, so I remember the panel. Like, I was the woman who plays Morgan Elsbeth. She was there for the Ahsoka panel.
Oh! What for at the Fan Expo?
At the Fan Expo.
That's right. I forgot she was actually there.
Yeah,
too.
and she talked about the revival of kind of this role, and how she was surprised that they were going to do this.
Yeah,
and how it just, when she was talking about it, she made it really seem like, and I hadn't seen it yet, right? Because that weekend is like when it came out.
we were so fucking busy. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had no time to watch it.
And obviously, probably a lot of people in there had seen it. They made time for it. We just were fucking old.
Yeah.
But she really made it seem like when she went into this character, the fact that she was able to get this background story to be told for her character, she was just genuinely, I mean, you could tell she was a fan. I guess
Yeah.
was the big thing. Like she was genuinely kind of fangirling about being in Star Wars, being a fan, and then like the fact that her character can have like this much more depth
Mhm.
and in these little bit of stories. Like she didn't give anything away, but she said that like just the not knowing they were going to do this, and then when they just said, okay, this you're going to have this story be told,
Yeah.
she was very surprised. It was one of the things like when you get a phone call and it's like, what? You want me to do what? Kind of like what shit.
D. Bradley Baker.
No, the Hera voice actor.
Oh yeah.
She said the same thing.
Vanessa.
Like, you get a call from Dave Filoni, and you're like, "Oh shit, did I do something wrong?" Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, she was very. She was great on stage, like for the Ahsoka panel, and like when she talked about these episodes, like I said, she didn't give anything away, but she was very happy about having the opportunity to have this character, have even more of a backstory.
Which, by the way, now just pisses me off more the way they just fucking killed her at the end of Ahsoka. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
She just got cool. She got the new fucking swords. She looked badass. She was like a full night sister again, and then dead.
Yeah, but where are you going to put her?
I don't know. Like, set it up as a big conflict for next season.
We already have too many people still alive, Jason. There's already too much. There's already too many people still alive.
Yeah.
Like now, Ezra's fucking kicking around, and we got to do something with him. He's got to die. Fucking Thrawn's still around. He's gonna have to fucking die.
I'm telling you,
all these motherfuckers have to die.
No, you know what's gonna happen. We are gonna get the Star Wars Avengers eventually.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be the Rey movie. It's gonna be the Star Wars Avengers. It's gonna be fucking Rey and fucking Ezra and fucking homeboy from Jedi Fallen Order, and fucking all these other Force users that fucking homegirl at the end of this one. They're all gonna get together as like the Force Avengers, and they're gonna fight some big baddie.
They're gonna have an airport scene where they just run and start fighting each other.
Well, that was Civil War, not Avengers, but
I don't know, dude. Ask me if I know Marvel shit.
Well, I mean,
no,
everyone knows that you don't.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
That's why in our Discord channel there is a Marvel stuff not for Dave.
Right. But yeah, no, fucking Cal Kestis, Ezra, Omega, they're all gonna come back for the Star Wars Avengers. And it's gonna be they're all coming together now as a team. Are you all right? I personally would love to see that, but clearly Dave.
No.
wouldn't.
God, they all have to die. Die horrible, horrible deaths. Yeah, they can all get together. Like they'll be in a room, right? Super Friends style, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got the guy who's gonna be like this, right?
In the Hall of the Super Friends.
Exactly. And while they're planning their fucking attack, you'll suddenly hear as Vader fucking steps in and just kills everyone.
Well,
end scene.
Well, that wouldn't work with a lot of these because Ezra
I don't
is
care.
still alive after Vader's
I don't
dead.
care. Don't care. Don't care. They obviously don't care about the fucking canon or the timeline. So this will be a Rick Sanchez fucking, bloop, he steps out of the portal and just fucking kills everyone and steps back into the portal. He serves his purpose.
Sure. Oh man. So are you ready to get into the Barasoffy ones?
Yes.
Now? All right. So this first one is called Devoted. And as you remember, she was a Jedi Padawan. She was good friends with Ahsoka.
Right.
Eventually betrays them all. Turns bad, which I don't even remember how all that happened.
This is the problem with Rule 34 is that I only remember her relationship with Ahsoka through Rule 34. So it's not just, they were friends. They were really good friends.
Right.
That's all I can remember. I'm like, was it really like that? I don't think so. I don't think it was like that.
No, it was not like that.
They weren't like zzz.
No, they definitely weren't. But yeah, no, we find her in jail, right? She's in
Yes.
some fucking jail on Coruscant that's
Right.
got a perfect view of the Jedi Temple, which
Right.
you almost wonder if that was done on purpose.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Right? You know,
Like-
like you're gonna be in this prison every day. Your only view out of this cell is gonna be right there at the Jedi Temple.
Right. See this place? Yeah. Yeah, that they fucked you
Yeah.
right there.
Dude, that's some cold-blooded shit, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Wow. Yeah, see, the Jedi weren't all,
Dude, they were the fucking worst. They were the absolute worst.
Yeah.
We know they were.
Yeah.
Wait do you read this book?
Oh God.
Oh, God.
I can only imagine. So yeah, she's like looking outside and she sees the fucking temple burning. She's like, "Hey, clones.
Hey.
What's up?" And of course they're like, "Hey, you just lucky you're not still a Jedi." And of course it was again D. Bradley Baker doing the clone voice, which I thought we'd seen the last of him in Bad Batch, but no, he lives.
Yes. So long as there's clones,
Yeah.
there will be D. Bradley Baker.
Yes. And I have a whole observation about that, but we'll talk about that later if we have time. So it goes like sometime later, she's still in her fucking cell, probably like weeks later, and the Inquisitor comes up to her. This Inquisitor.
This bitch.
Yeah, so the fourth sister. Pretty sure that's her.
Yeah, that's her.
That's her, right, people?
Yeah, she's got the hair.
Yeah. So, yeah, she shows up, and of course, Barriss recognizes her, calls her Lynn, which I guess that was her name back at the Jedi Temple, which I have no memory of
I don't either.
her.
But I mean, they were all
Inquisitor.
They were all probably hanging out.
Yeah.
They were in the sauna or whatever together.
Mhm.
Like, hey, Lynn, what's up? Still get your fucking nipples pierced or whatever? Or was that just a Jedi thing?
Was that a Jedi thing?
I don't know.
So anyway, yeah. So she shows up and she offers Barriss an opportunity, because it was kind of cool because she rolls in and she's like, at your trial, you mentioned the lies and murderous Jedi. Turns out you were right.
Yes. Yeah, go figure.
Well, again, that's the narrative, obviously, that the Inquisitors and the Emperor push. But either way, she's like, so you have a chance to join us now.
I think the hubris of the Jedi fucking contributed to the whole fucking thing.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I mean, so she's not wrong.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, they put you in this fucking cell where the only thing you can
Right.
see is the temple.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah, you think that was you think that was an accident? No, I don't think so.
some petty motherfuckers over there. So yeah, she arrives at the Inquisitor base, which is still being constructed at this point. And it's on that that planet or that moon that's like you can see Mustafar. It's like really close to Mustafar, but it's not quite there.
So all the water that would be on Mustafar is on this planet,
Yes.
this moon.
Yeah, because it's a water moon.
Right.
But yeah, so that like
Because that's how that would work.
right. So yeah, this is like the early days of the Inquisitorius, where they're they're building their fortress, which we eventually go back to a couple times.
Inquisitorius. Is that a real thing?
I don't know.
I mean, I like it. Like you said that like it was a real thing. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
I feel like I've heard that word before.
Inquisitorius.
Yeah. Eh.
I love it. We got to make sure it gets out there.
Yeah. All right. Inquisitorius. It is. So they grab her and two other fucking like Padawans. One of them looks like fucking Carrot Top, like the dude with the orange hair,
Right.
with the fucking pigtails.
Right.
And he's
Which,
got
throw somebody ugly in there because they're going to end up dying.
Right.
Right. They're like, yes, yeah, you are a red shirt to use Star Trek parlance. You are
yeah.
a red shirt and you are going to die.
Yep. And then the Grand Inquisitor shows up, and it's just our Grand Inquisitor
Yep.
as we know him, and he tells them, we're gonna test you guys, and
Yep.
if you make it, then you can become one of us.
Right. And if you don't, then yeah.
Well, you know what happens. We don't have to say
Right.
it.
We don't like
Kind of like when your friend had an accident.
right.
Yeah, when he leaves the cell, because they put all three of them into like a quarters, like it's not a cell.
Right.
And the one guy just fucking leaves. He's like, "Fuck this."
Like this is stupid. I'm not doing this shit. I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Whereas
Like
Barriss,
I have free will.
yeah. And Barris and Carrot Top are like, no, don't go.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a bad idea. Do you see who we're dealing with here? Like,
Yeah.
fuck this bullshit.
So yeah, the next scene when we see the Grand Inquisitor, he's like, "Oh, your friend had an accident. He didn't make it."
Yeah, I'm afraid that we're quite safe.
When your friends arrive. Oh, we got a beautiful shot where they show it's like an outer shot of the temple, and you can see fucking Mustafar in the distance, like it's a moon or something of this moon. But just you can see the red fucking planet right there. It's like,
Look at all the lava right there with no water.
Yeah.
0% relative humidity.
Yeah.
Because all the water is on this moon.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works.
We don't have to get into all of that.
Suspend disbelief, Dave. Suspend it.
So the Grand Inquisitor takes Barris, and he, starts putting her through her dark side training. He gives her a lightsaber and says, attack me. Right. And she's attacking, and
it's a green lightsaber too. It's not like here's a blood red one.
Yeah, it's like a table of fucking fallen Jedi lightsabers.
Right.
And he gives her one, and she's swinging at him, and he's just moving. Is like it's not your Jedi upbringing or something.
Right.
Makes you predictable, something like that. You have to
stop fighting like a Jedi. Is what he says first.
Yeah, because it makes you predictable.
Right.
Yeah, and so he's fucking with her. At one point, he like fucking shoves her to where her spine like practically breaks on a fucking pillar, and then she falls to the ground, and she's like fucking nose is bleeding, and that's when she gets pissed. And I love this fucking scene because he's like, he's talking down to her. He's like, perhaps you're not as powerful. Boom! And she fucking throws him against the wall, like mid-sentence.
Like, I got your powerful bitch.
But yeah, no, that was just fucking awesome. Perhaps you're not as powerful. Boom!
Yeah. Did you see that coming there, dickweed?
Yeah. Yeah. So she passed that test. And then the final test was kind of as you would expect. It's got to be her versus Carrot Top.
Right.
Winner becomes an Inquisitor.
And there were two, and you kind of like, because at first, like, there was three, now there's two, so it's going to come down to these two, and they're going to have to fucking Rochambeau each other.
Oh, yeah. And what's weird is, at first, she didn't want to fight.
Right.
She even tried to talk the Carrot Top into, not fighting. And he's like, no, fuck this. I want to live. He grabs the saber and goes after her.
I want to live.
Yeah. So, and that arena that they're in is getting smaller and smaller. And like,
it reminds me of a boss level in a fucking game.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's a shield around us. The floor's turning into lava.
Yeah.
And there's a big hole. Fuck. God, I hate this game.
Yeah, it really did feel like a video game though.
Yeah.
And fucking dudes like got her on the ropes, and then she just fucking force chokes for the win. Fucking and just
like, I don't want to have to do this, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, again, I don't know why she's holding back at this point. Well, I don't understand any of her decisions throughout these 3 episodes, but at this point, she's so disillusioned with the fucking Jedi. She should be, happier than a pig in shit to get in with the Inquisitors. But
so, I mean, I understand some of it. Like, I understand that you think about when she was like during her trial, like the things that she said, it wasn't about her turning to evil. It was really about her just rebelling against what the Jedi were doing.
Right.
Right. And you almost think about it like Ahsoka left the Order.
Yeah.
If Barris hadn't been, caught and put in jail or whatever, you can imagine that Barris would have probably done the same thing under the same circumstances.
Sure.
So it's like questioning these decisions and realizing that, this is not the path.
Yeah. So instead of maybe doing something illegal, she just would leave like Ahsoka.
Right. And so it doesn't make her bad. Like, she's not trying to make I'm not trying to be evil. I don't want to work by your rules because I don't agree with your rules.
Yeah.
You say that you're perfect basically with your strategy and how you think that life should be lived.
Yeah.
or a Jedi should live, and there's flaws all over your fucking logic,
Mm-hmm.
and your unwillingness to change means that I don't want to be a participant in it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
That's how I looked at it anyway.
Sure. But yeah, she kills Carrot Top, and they give her her helmet,
Right.
her new Inquisitor helmet.
Which, I mean, were you immediately thinking Black Series figure?
Oh,
I
of
mean,
course. Yeah.
like
I mean,
you do.
obviously. And so now they had their, like, I don't know, their ceremony, their enlistment ceremony.
Right.
So they bring in her, and they bring in a couple other Inquisitors, one of which was fucking Marok. This guy from Ahsoka, who were just like, who the fuck is that? And he just turned into green smoke, and then he's gone, and then we never know anything. Well, we got him here. Now, I'm assuming it's him. It's the exact same helmet and everything. So maybe he was an Inquisitor, and then he got fucking killed, and then Morgan reanimated him. I don't know.
In Wikipedia, it says that they're joined by Fourth Sister, Marok, and an unidentified Inquisitor.
Boom.
So Wikipedia has it.
Yeah. So, there's more story to be told there, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like super stoked when I saw him walk in. It was the Leo meme, right? The pointing at the screen.
Uh-huh. And then like, oh man, another wasted character.
Yeah.
Continue to be wasted.
God, Star Wars is so good at that.
Yeah.
Awesome looking characters.
Right.
Mysterious backstory. Nothing. Pointless. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Why do you guys do this? Why do you guys insist on doing this? And it's not just Disney. George did it too.
Yeah. Because we fall for it every fucking time.
Yeah.
It just so happens that when Boba Fett showed up, it was strong enough where it stuck.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Boba Fett would have been the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, no, the fans literally resurrected Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, if he wasn't as well loved as he ended up being, George was more than happy to just let him die in the fucking Sarlacc.
Yeah. It would have been, hey, you guys liked him, right? Yeah, we're just gonna throw him away.
Yeah. Fucking Darth Maul, same thing.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Star Wars, playing with our emotions for fucking 40, 50 years.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was awesome seeing Marok there. And then of course,
God, 50 years. Holy shit.
Well, not for 3 more years. Oh God, that means I'm going to be 50 in 3 more years. Wait, how does that work? Because I was like 6 months old when the first one came out. So okay, so yeah, I guess I'll turn 50 6 months before the anniversary of New Hope.
I will be 50 in 18 months.
Jesus Christ. The fuck happened to us?
I know. Not that I'm counting.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, for this weird existential realization that we just had. So they're doing their enlistment ceremony, and fucking Vader shows up. Badass scene of him walking in. He looks fantastic in this animation style.
Yeah.
Like, he looks better than he did in Rebels. In Rebels, he looked kind of...
Everything is so... It's like we're going to take that animation style and we're just going to give it like a final treatment that we didn't give it.
Yeah,
before.
exactly, yeah.
It's going to, all right, we're going to smooth everything out. Give everything like a satin. Let's make satin. Like, semi-gloss was in back then. We're going to give everything satin now.
Right.
Because that's in. And it looks great. It looks fucking great.
Yep. But yeah, fucking great shot of him like sitting in that fucking throne after he walks into the room, and then that's the end of the episode. So, pretty good. I definitely enjoyed this one and was more than willing to see where it goes from there. And we go right into the second episode, Realization. So the first one was Devotion, then Realization. And this one starts with her and the fucking fourth sister, aka Lynn. And they're tracking a Force user. They got a tip, and they're going to some fucking planet, which I don't think they ever said. But yeah, they're tracking a fucking Force user who's might actually be hooking up with a rebel cell that's down there. So, And when they get there, they see the places. It kind of reminded me a lot of Corvus. They're fucking just decrepit and just the life is shitty there. And Barris again is all like, oh, we should let them.
these people.
Yeah, we should let them prosper and all that. I'm like, bitch,
Do you realize who you work for now?
Yeah.
Like, have you
yeah, that big black, just monstrous looking man that you just
right?
like, he's not the epitome of pure and goodness.
Right.
He's
like, you're gonna have to answer to the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
Here. So you can't really just be like, I'm just gonna this kid right here. We're gonna just protect him.
right.
Right. While you're annihilating everyone else in this room, I'm gonna go ahead and protect this kid.
Oh yeah. Oh well. Yeah, we'll get there. Because they get there and they're basically interrogating the locals, very similar to how it went down in Obi-Wan when the Inquisitors showed up and were, tell me where the Jedi is. But then Barris goes with a different technique. She plays the good cop.
Right.
She's talking all soft and she takes off her helmet.
Right.
And I'm like, that would have been fucking so awesome if she had been like, she was like talking all sweet and he told her where they was and she'd have been like, thanks, kid.
Yep.
And then fucking cut his head off or something right there. I'd have been like, that would have been so badass.
Yeah. Turn the character completely.
Yeah.
Right. Honestly, they shouldn't have been allowed to take the oath of office until they go out there and
prove themselves.
Like,
find a Jedi. Right.
Find a Jedi, kill them. It's like, it's one of those things that's been in these movies forever, right? The Bourne movies.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You're not. You have to kill this person. To be official. That you do. In fact, have you seen the movie Fury?
No.
It's about a tank. It was like a tank unit, or a single tank, crew.
Okay.
In World War II.
Oh, all right.
It had Brad Pitt. It happened to be on in the office today. It was on in the background while I was fucking page checking this new thing.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was in there, they had this like green kid that was part of their tank crew, and he was scared to kill any Germans.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't want to kill anybody. So Brad Pitt basically like put him in a headlock and fucking forced him to hold the gun and fucking kill a German. Right?
Wow.
It's like, look, these guys are going to fucking kill you. So I'm, forcing you have to. So I know that you're not going to get me killed. I need to know that you're going to fucking be able to kill Germans.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
fast forward. I think that hey, you're going to be an Inquisitor, I need to know that you're going to do the deed. You're going to fucking. Right. You're going to do what needs to be done to fucking hunt down these Jedi.
Maybe that's going to be a requirement to be like an NCO, to go from the airman ranks to NCO. Like, you have to have a Jedi kill.
Listen,
in there.
we're in single digits with these fucking Inquisitors. I don't think we ever make it to Inquisitor number 10.
Okay.
So I don't know that they have the leeway to do this. Like, I think you have to be like, okay, this is the one. Make sure they can do it. Before we make this investment,
right?
Like, all right, can you do the job? All right, now we're going to invest the money in you.
Yeah.
But before we put all the black shit on you, before we put the black fucking suit on you, new gams, the whole bit, we got to make sure you can actually fucking kill innocents.
Yeah.
Because if you can't, we're going to have to kill you. That's just how it is.
Yeah. So anyway, Barris gets the kid to tell her that the Jedi's in the mountains. And that's the scene where fucking the fourth sister then shuts off the exit and is like, you fuckers lied to me, and just cuts them all up.
Yep. See, she has it. She has the thing.
Oh, yeah.
She has the thing where, like, okay, all of you are scum.
Yeah, you're harboring terrorists.
Yes, and so you all need to die.
Yeah, exactly. And then, they go up in the mountains and they find the Jedi. He's just some random dude.
Right.
Just whatever. And,
flush him out.
Yeah. And then, we start off, we see the fourth sister fighting him first.
Right.
And he kind of bests her. And that's when Barris jumps in. And again, she's trying to play the good guy. Like, oh, you can surrender and all this.
Trying to talk him, she's trying to talk him into like, hey, Like, look, you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Right? You can walk away from this, and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Like,
you'll join it because he's like, oh, I'm so lonely. And she's like, come with us, you know?
right. Come to the dark side.
Yeah.
We have cookies.
Yep. And so, like, she gets him to stop just enough to, you know, turn off his lightsaber. And as soon as it goes, fucking
Yep.
fourth sister from the backside. Huzzah! Kill shot.
Yes. Which, duh, you know, that's perfectly executed as far as fourth sister goes. She's probably like, yeah, see, good job keeping him distracted so I could fucking kill him.
Yeah. So, but that was apparently the thing that, you know, pushed Barriss over the edge, right? Because now she's 100% good guy again. Because they're walking away, and she's like, "What the fuck? He was unarmed. He was gonna surrender." And then she's like, "No, fuck him. You know, he had to die." And we have one less Jedi to deal with. And then Barriss goes, "Well, you've got one more to deal with now," or something like that.
Yeah. Which, fuck, god damn it. Like, can't we just? And this pissed me off. Like, straight away pissed me off because she obviously was wavering. And then to have this, like, okay, no, she's going to swing back to being good at the other side of this. I just, I couldn't, I could stomach it. It was fine, whatever. But I didn't want, that's not the way I wanted this to go.
Yeah.
Like, you just gave us Morgan Ellsworth. You know, you gave us this, like, here's this dark character, and we know which way this goes.
Yeah, and there was no wavering on her part.
No, there was no. You knew exactly how that was going to go, and it was dark.
Yeah.
Now she's going to have this redemption arc.
Yeah.
Or hopefully she fucking just ends up getting killed by Vader, which would be awesome.
Well, we know how her story ends in the next episode.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this episode basically ends with her like force pushing fucking Four off of the cliff, and and he's like, "Oh, is she dead? I don't know." And then that's the end.
Guess what? She's not dead.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. She's not dead.
And we move into the final episode, The Way Out. And it starts off on a snow planet, and there's this fucking like snow Fremen guy who's like hiding under the snow when these people walk by, and he pops out. And come to find out, this couple with their baby are looking for the healer,
Right.
which you immediately are like, okay, the show's about Barriss, so this is probably her,
Right.
you know, like being a healer kind of in exile on some random fucking backwater planet.
Obviously.
Yep. And that's what it was. You know, they the bear guy took them to her, and you know, she's looking, she's like, "Well, there's nothing wrong with this baby." And they're like, "Well, you know, Empire was taking blood samples, and they said something about an M count, and we felt it was just best to get the fuck out of there."
Yeah. We're going to sprinkle some crack and get the fuck out of here.
All right. So yeah, and obviously Barriss is a decent amount older, but you know, it's not too far in the future because the Inquisitors are still a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's a little bit of a
like she changes so much physically, like she chops her hair off, her face looks older, but it can't be that much farther in the future.
Yeah, I'm in a Wikipedia right now. I'm trying to find like any kind of timing thing, but I'm not seeing any.
So, but yeah, Barriss tells her fucking little crew that's there, along with the Snow Fremen guy, and like, here, take my ship, take this baby, go to these coordinates. She specifically said,
between 9 and 0 BBY.
Oh, okay. She's like, take them to this place. You'll meet an old friend. So I'm wondering if that was Ahsoka she was referring to.
Probably.
Because we never got any confirmation that her and Ahsoka made amends or contacted each other or what.
Right.
But, you know, obviously she's helping with this, you know, Jedi Underground Railroad.
Contacting each other.
Yeah. And then we see in the distance as she's like shooing them off, we can see a fucking figure walking up, and sure as shit, it's fucking Four again, aka Lynn. And Barriss starts acting like the fucking Grand Inquisitor from the first episode, where, you know, she doesn't have a weapon or anything, and she just lets Ford just fucking come at her, and she's just dodging again.
Yep.
And she's like, your anger is making you predictable. So, you know, it was a nice little change from, you know, where her story started. And eventually the people, the baby and all that, like went into these fucking ice caves, and she went and followed them. Apparently these ice caves are very similar to the Dagobah cave.
Right.
Where, you know, there's some goofy force shit going on inside, because she's like trying to navigate, and she gets fucking lost, and she's seeing her reflection in the fucking ice. So, you know, this is kind of like a force trial. And for some reason, Barris decides to jump in front of Homegirl's lightsaber, you know, while they're in this fucking cave, and just bleh. And I guess her logic was, you know, her killing me will be the thing that brings her back to the light.
Right.
Which, I mean, technically is a net gain for the good guys, because, you know, you're taking one away from their side and bringing it to yours, even though you're losing a person, but they're
Right.
losing a person also.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a good way to look at it, I guess.
yeah,
Because she was already in hiding, so she wasn't really doing anything, I guess.
yeah. So, but yeah, no, once she fucking dies, now all of a sudden the fourth sister is, you know, like, oh, I'm good guy now.
Right.
You know?
Shit. Now I'm good. Fuck.
Yeah.
Now I gotta think of all those fucking babies I killed. Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh well, sprinkles a crack on them. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, yeah. She's fucking basically she just takes her Barris's fucking body and walks out of the cave. I think she said something to the effect of, "I'm gonna get you out of here." But I mean, we don't really see the end result. I'm assuming Barris is dead, though. As we've seen in Star Wars in recent years, lightsaber through the gut clearly is not a lethal shot.
Unless you're Qui-Gon.
Right.
Yeah. Only if you're Qui-Gon.
He's just fucking sitting there in the afterlife, just like
It's
the
like-
disappointed fan.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Oh, poor Qui-Gon.
What is this force healing you're talking about?
Yeah. So yeah, my last note was she's dead, right?
Question mark?
Yeah, and then of course we don't know what happened to the fucking fourth sister, though she was in Obi-Wan. I don't think she died in that. I thought she was in one of the Jedi games too.
I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, it's a lot of Inquisitors to keep track of. We need to, we should do that as an episode. Just do a fucking flow chart of all the known Inquisitors and where they all came from.
Hmm.
We'll put a pin in that.
Yeah, somebody write that down.
Yeah. So, I mean, these episodes were fine, the ones with Barris, but, you know, to me, it was too much of, like you said, her not going full dark.
Yeah.
Because, we were punched in the face by the fucking Morgan Elspeth ones where she's just fucking cruel. She's like, fuck these people. I'm going to fucking enslave them and, fuck them. And
Right.
I want revenge and all this stuff. And then, Barris is like, no, we shouldn't let these people suffer and all this, but I'm an Inquisitor.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you get this far?
Yeah. Which makes...
As an Inquisitor, how did you, convince them that you had, you were one of them?
Yeah.
Right.
I'd be willing to bet that she was probably on fucking their radar. Like, hey, this bitch she's not all in. So we got to give her a test soon. And she may,
Maybe that, I don't know. Do you send her out with the fourth sister then? I mean, I just seem like they were too easily fucking blinded by her.
Yeah.
Like being arrested and basically
even
booted by the Jedi.
Yeah, well, even like when she fucking choked out fucking homeboy Carrot Top, and she like fucking cracked his neck, and that was like just pure anger and hate, and she was
Right.
like, so it made you think like, oh, okay, there she is, but that wasn't the case.
This is, yes, I mean, I would think it was like you'd have to use that more often.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, I think I've used the dark side more than she has.
Yeah. So I mean, and you know what? To be fair, this character has had a lot going on in her life.
Sure.
So, and when you're younger, you don't know what the fuck is going on. You don't know what your path is. You let people fucking manipulate you and tell you what you should be doing.
Right.
And, now that she's older, she's like been like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
And she's kind of seeing things for the way they are. But I definitely enjoyed the Morgan Elspeth stories better. Like, I really, really liked those ones. Like the Barris ones, they were okay. Just not my favorite out of the two.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Because this is Tales of the Empire, and I wanted it to be fucking dark.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that Barris is dead afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
there's-
Yes.
Yes,
She will
somebody-
not be joining the Avengers in the Rey
finally
movie.
Somebody fucking died that was supposed to.
Oh, did I mention Ahsoka too as part of the Avengers? Yeah, because it's gonna be fucking Rey and Ahsoka and fucking Cal Kestis and fucking Ezra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All the above.
Yeah.
They can all travel to the whole.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's probably exactly what it's gonna fucking be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, they're kind of like putting the pieces in place to where you've got these, individual peoples who have these, big stories behind them, and they're still alive. I don't know. You all right?
Look
It's-
of excitement on my face.
yeah, he was staring daggers at me. So,
Ugh.
but
Be the worst ever.
But I mean, I gotta say, overall, like between this and then the Tales of the Jedi from last year, I love this format of telling stories over these like 15-minute intervals. I know I saw somebody in the chat mention that they would prefer it if they were 30 minutes long, which I mean, that could be good too. But I kind of like it in these short bursts. Maybe it's just my attention span as I'm getting older.
I think what it does is it preps you for the fact that this is not going to be like an entire plot line.
Right.
This is going to be short. And so we're going to do this in 15-minute increments.
Yeah.
So that, we're going to tell this part of the story. Here's part 1, here's part 2, and then here's part 3. And so it's a very succinct short story. Something that you get in Star Wars Insider in 3 different editions.
Right.
And I think that's what the intent is.
Yeah, and it's good. I love the format, and I hope they keep doing it. Like, I hope we get one of these every single year for the foreseeable future. Next year it could be Tales of the Old Republic or something, or another Tales of the Jedi, but you're focusing on a couple other different people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Tales of the Jedi, and then you have Aayla Secura,
Yeah.
like showering for 45 minutes.
Yeah. I'd watch that.
Yeah. 15-minute increments.
Yeah, they got to use the version from the Clone Wars, though.
My penis is so smooth.
'Cause she's the one that had the massive rack.
Right.
Um,
Obviously.
yeah.
Obviously.
But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, I like this.
Twillick titties.
I'd love to see them continue to do this and the animation is so good. It gets just every single new series that comes out, the animation just gets fucking better and better, and it feels like we're getting close to perfection with this fucking animation. And
Yeah,
and I'm for it.
yeah, I agree. I agree with Smirking Bear too in the chat. You talked
Oh,
about
Tales of the Bounty Hunters. That would be a good one too. Yeah, like there's so many possibilities.
Yeah, for sure.
And I hope these are getting a lot of views. Like, it's weird. We have no way to really know like what's successful and what's not.
Right.
Unless like it doesn't get a sequel or a season 2 or whatever.
Yeah, no shit.
Looking at you, Boba Fett.
I'm watching. I mean, I've watched it twice so far, and I'll watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Tales of the Jedi again. Yeah. I mean, it's rewatchable. Because it's so short.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think there's validity to it. Excuse me. I was that was building.
Yeah.
And I was either going to throw up or I was going to burp. So I'm glad it was option 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I agree with you.
You're right.
There's
Dave just spaced out.
There's pop-ups that distracted me.
All right, so yeah, that closes out this episode. So next week, we are getting away from Star Wars for a week, but not too far away because we are staying within Lucasfilm. And next week we are talking about Indiana Jones and the Last
Oh
Crusade.
shit, that's right. Yeah.
Because it's 35th anniversary. Is that what it was for Indy 3?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Stand by. I will. Luna Girl, thankfully, did some research and sent us a nice list.
Yep.
Of everything. So yeah, 35th.
Yeah. So we're gonna watch that, and I guess I'll go ahead and come out and say this right now. I've pretended a lot on this podcast that I am familiar with Indy 3 and that I've even seen it. All of that is a fabrication. I have never seen Indiana Jones 3, ever. Not even small clips of it.
How many times has Ben's the one who's...
Oh, yeah. Ben, he was like a huge Indiana Jones
Right.
fan for a period of time.
So he's probably seen it
Oh, I'm sure.
enough for everybody.
Right. But no, I've never seen it, so I'll be watching it for the first time this week.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
That you haven't seen it, to be honest.
And trust me, I know that it's like most people's favorite. And I have nothing against watching it. It's just I've never been like a huge Indiana Jones fan. Raiders is great. Everything else is just
Oh, damn. God, we've been missing out.
Oh, more Rule 34 stuff in the disc. Oh, keep going. There she is.
Yeah.
Oh, getting a little more realistic.
Yeah.
It's a shame we can't share a screen.
Scissor me timbers. That's fucking great. Oh, that's awesome. That's a good one. I
Yeah,
like that.
we're just looking at some. Oh, and there she is.
Yep.
Ayla Secura.
Yep, there she is. Delicious.
Again, that's in the Discord. If you're
Yes.
if you're as degenerate as us, you can hop in there and see reposted Rule 34 pictures.
Yeah. Or things like wood.
Yes. How did wood get so hard?
I painted it.
All right. So anyway, next week, Indiana Jones, you'll hear my honest opinions about seeing it for the first time. And after that, I mean, we've got the novel and then Acolyte. So
Yeah.
like the Star Wars shit is coming, man. Like they have been pumping out a lot of stuff recently. And it's going to be a good summer for Star Wars.
Shit, yeah, man.
So
Yeah, I'm excited.
and that's pretty
Was
much
he aroused?
that's good. So we're done a little early. You got some sidebar headlines?
I do, and I think I'm gonna try the Micro Machines
Oh Jesus.
again.
All right.
Yeah, I'm still healing. So one less week for
For
Hannaford. She's still in the IR.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this. Let me have it beverage. And we'll do this. Bring up this window here. And are we ready?
I'm always ready.
No, I am not. I'm not ready.
I've been ready since the first take.
ATSW Family Happenings on Wednesday. Snooch, Big Love, and Dragon Buddy will be discussing 2014 WW2 movie Fury. Shut up.
The one you were just talking
Shut
about.
the fuck up. That's fucking hilarious.
Wow.
Dude, it was literally on in the background today in the shop.
Yeah.
Just randomly because we had A&E on. All right, so sidebar.
So okay, and this came out 10 years ago. This movie, 2014.
That's fucking crazy. So we had they are live notes. Lunar Girl has control over the notes, and I doubt she would have done anything nefarious.
Yeah.
No, so we usually have like Good Morning Football on.
Okay.
That's usually what's on our TV
In the office. Yeah.
in the office. One of my coworkers has YouTube television, so we stream it through his stuff.
Okay.
But Good Morning Football hasn't been on. They're on their hiatus. They're moving to the West Coast, whatever. So we haven't had that. So we had the Golf Channel on for a little while, and again, it's just on in the background. And then I went to the BX for lunch. I came back and Under Siege was on A&E. And so
Oh, so they cut out the best part
yeah,
of
the
that
best
movie.
parts of it. So which is it's just Under Siege is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so funny watching Steven Seagal do his thing. So that was on, and then the movie immediately following that was Fury.
Huh.
And the fact that I mentioned it earlier, and then
And now someone's doing it as
Now-
their topic.
now they're doing it as their topic. That's wow. That's just fucking.
That's good shit.
That is good shit. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Why are you guys doing it? Just because it's
Well, it's 10 years old.
10-year anniversary?
And again, I've never even heard of this fucking movie.
Fury?
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. Oh, dude, I totally believe you that it was planned. It's just funny how that shit. It just happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that totally threw me off as soon as I saw it. It shows you that I don't pre-read the notes,
Right.
at all.
So yeah, it's all news to you as you're reading it.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, they're really doing that.
This is why I get hung up on words.
Yeah.
Anyway, so on Wednesday, Snooch, Big Love, and a Dragon Buddy will be discussing the 2014 World War II movie Fury. Catch ATSW Escape Pod live at 19:05, 7:05 Eastern on YouTube. And you will do it.
See.
3 p.m. Scott and Kim were live this past Saturday on a surprise unboxing for Kimberly. I got the replay using to be his pod on YouTube. Layman's Terms released Night of the Creeps on Saturday. Give it a watch on Layman's Terms on YouTube. The Orange and Fett Show released episode 112, Hitting Metal 17 Times, Bingham County, and Trent Clark. I had to say that slow because that was a weird thing to say out
Yeah,
loud.
I'm like sitting here thinking like I don't understand.
Hitting Metal 17 times. That's
Gonna need some context.
I love it. I love it. Catch them on Spotify and Apple. Yes, do that.
Do it.
Yeah, give them and then ask the question, why? You can find us at bio.link / the Sidebar Cantina, where you can find our links to Patreon, YouTube, our audio podcast on Apple, Audible, and Spotify, and all social media platforms, including X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, and Discord. Once you get to the bio link, simply click the symbols on it or pick and choose your platform of choice. You can also find all of our past Spotify music mixtape playlists.
Also, we know braille. You got a fucking dog neck.
You're crazy, man. I like you. But you're crazy.
Also in our bio link is our T-Pod merch shop. Choose from some of the designs and everything. T-shirt, and hoodie, tote bags, phone pages, pictures of wallets, magnets, not double pillows. Just about anything you can imagine. Nothing says loving like a naked Jason pic on a pillow. Go to bio.link / Sidebar Cantina and click merch. Reviews.
No new reviews. I just checked.
God damn it.
I know.
Please write us a 5-star review on Apple or Audible. Don't have an Apple or Audible account. Our Facebook page has a review feature too. Just screenshot your review before you hit them and DM us a pic on Instagram or Twitter with your name and address so Luna Girl can send you a super cool ATSW family swag pack. This is your chance to tell us your thoughts on the show. Jennifer Lopez, or Hanker, either from Mama or Drunk Tom Burger, or somebody phone read your review word for word on our next episode. You will let us know who you want to read it. Finally, you can catch us on Spotify. Help us out and click those stars. If you're listening to us on audio, please consider joining us in the live chat on Mondays. The chat is most definitely where it's at. If you're new to Sidebar, please subscribe, ding that bell, select all to receive notifications when we go live. Remember to smash that like button. It really helps us out. If one thing we have been over the past 7 years of us doing this, 7 years
Yeah.
of us doing this,
Long time.
we've been pretty fucking consistent about when we go on.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, there were times where it was a little skittish.
Listen. I would say those were in the extreme minority.
Yeah. And that was mostly like when I was on the road for a year.
Yeah. We have, this is episode what, 336?
335.
Episode 335.
Yeah.
And we're pretty consistent with our timing.
Yeah, especially since we moved to this Monday
Yeah.
schedule. Like, God, we've been doing it on Mondays for what, 2-3 years
Yeah.
straight now?
So it's, if you're listening to us and you really want to get involved in the show, right? And we're not saying become Patreon members or do whatever. And if you choose to do that, that's awesome. We love you.
Yeah, that's why we get these nice new mics.
Yes, everything goes back into the show.
Correct. And great giveaway prizes as
Yes.
well.
Yes. But yeah, it's when we talk about going live on Mondays, unless there's some reason, like and it has to be a good reason, like vacation or like whatever.
Yeah.
Illness. We're Jason and Dave. We're doing a show. It's going to be the Jason and Dave show, and we're going to be doing it live on a Monday night.
Fucking right.
That's what's going to happen. So if you're into that, if you're into seeing consistent content, then check us out. Check us out for that shit, because you're going to get consistent content. I'm not saying it's going to be good. I'm just saying it's going to be consistent.
No promises.
Yeah,
no promises of quality.
No promises.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
But just thinking about it, like even after doing that read, 7 years of doing this, we've been really consistent with when we do the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's important. Like the Escape Pod guys, like they go live on Wednesday nights at 19:05.
Yeah, and they have pretty much since their conception.
Right. When they started this, and they've been doing it Wednesday nights, and because that's their night, and fucking balls out, that's when they fucking do it.
Yeah.
So
because we started on Sundays and then moved to Monday.
right. And you know how people's days off and shit like that works, and it's worked out better on Monday nights. But yeah,
Show.
this is if you like consistency, this is what the ATSW family is all about.
All right, I've got to piss like a motherfucker.
So do I.
We need to close this
It's
up.
fucking crazy.
I'm like, yeah, it's very close to me screaming like that. So
Yeah, I've had to piss for about an hour.
yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and close it up. I know we're finishing a few minutes early, but we'll give you a few minutes to, get back to your evening or whatever it is you were
Yes.
doing before we graced you with our presence.
Yeah.
Fuck! I didn't take my goddamn pills.
Oh, I forgot to remind you. Shit.
Motherfucker! God damn it, whore! Son of a fuck!
So while Jason does that, I will say thank you to all of you for listening, for watching, for participating, for contributing to us on Patreon, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I still am always stoked that we have you out there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Like if we didn't, we wouldn't be doing this anymore. If we
Yeah,
didn't
it's-
have our core group of followers.
yeah. I mean, it's Jason snaps notwithstanding, we do this for yous.
Yeah.
So
All right. So we're gonna close this up because I'm about to burst.
Yep.
So thank you again to everybody. We'll see you next week with some Indiana Jones. And until then, Dave and everybody else, may the force be with you.
may the paper with you. Okay, now what do I click?
All right. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So he gets to go first. And now I have to sit here and I have to hold it for that much longer. God damn it. No, you don't have to have your time back. We're just not going to be doing we're not performing. That's all. Like, this is just going to be it. We're just going to have the scene from Scanners. Or just stare at the camera. No, we're not crossing streams either. Absolutely not. Did I still haven't. I got to remember to fucking talk about this sign that's right here that you guys can't see. One of these fucking days, I'll remember to do it. Because it's been a month and I fucking. God damn it. I can't even. What's happening? From skin sleeves. What the fuck is skin?
Oh, thank Christ.
I have no idea what's going on.
So is anybody else still on? We're still live. So one thing I want to do now especially after watching those Morgan Elspeth episodes, is now watch that episode of Mandalorian again, where him and Ahsoka show up. Because I swear to God, like the fucking trees are still like smoking from the fires in that episode. So I don't know about anybody else, but I am definitely going to be doing that whenever I get some free time. When will that be? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Don't know anything. Next week's Black Series figures. It's going to be some good stuff. This is my new shirt. My son gave this to me. It's some Pops Stormtroopers. What the hell does this say? Oh, it just says Stormtrooper. But good stuff. You screamed when you saw that. Are we talking the burning trees, Kelly? Yeah, good stuff. I fucking love these lightsabers so much. Shit. Anything else going on in the chat? Burning trees makes her happy. Yeah, fuck the environment. So, I've been thinking about a Dennis Leary joke ever since this whole thing went down with the Iranian president. Because in his, everybody remembers his No Cure for Cancer album,
Right.
that he did, that comedy one that had the asshole song on
Yeah.
it. One of the things in there, he's like, he's ranting about something, and he's like, when Stevie Ray Vaughan is dead, and we can't get John Bon Jovi in a helicopter. Come on, folks. Come on, John, get in that helicopter. There's a fucking hairdresser in there. Go ahead.
That's a deep cut.
It is.
Let's see.
But
Open.
yeah, that's what I've been thinking about ever since this fucking thing happened with the Iranian guy.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm just. It's interesting to watch.
Yeah.
It's interesting to watch the whole thing go down because
I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably not going to change much.
I mean,
as far as we're concerned as Americans,
it's not going to move the needle at all. I think if I have any concern, it's that some conspiracy theory develops about
like Israel having something to do with it?
Yeah, the nature of how the crash happened.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to devolve into something there's fingers pointing and everything else, because all of the people that responded to this thing are.
I mean, yes, most of them probably will be conspiracy theories,
shit.
But I'm sure you've heard of Stuxnet, which shows the capability of the Israeli cyber team. So you never know. You never know. I don't know what kind of helicopter this was, if it had any complex equipment on it, any computer.
It was probably some Russian Hind.
Yeah.
If I could venture a guess.
Probably.
So it most likely wasn't very complicated.
Kelly said in the chat that apparently Israel was first to say that it wasn't them. Like that's kind of weird. Wasn't us?
Not it. 1, 2, 3, not it.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's it's tragic that people lose their lives.
Yeah, you never want to see anybody die that way.
But
maybe Hitler.
But fuck, helicopters it's flimsy physics.
Yeah.
They're not it's not meant to fucking fly.
Yeah.
You're talking about, yes, the math works, and obviously they do fly.
Yeah.
But it's really squiffy.
Yeah, it's not like flying an airplane, especially like through a fucking storm or something. Like you fly in a helicopter anywhere into a storm, you're done.
Yeah, they're not all weather vehicles.
Yeah.
They're just not.
Or
And
you get some fucking high winds or something, and
Yeah, and I think because I followed it like as soon as I had the alert thing on my phone for when
Breaking news.
and when shit happens, like through work.
Yeah.
And one of the things that it initially had said, or before, I think before they got the crash site, was that like there was snow up in that area too.
Oh damn.
So there could have been icing. And
oh,
so
right.
if you have icing concerns, that icing and aviation are two things that are just don't go well together.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's a shit situation that the craft had to go down. Some bad CRM on the crew's part, probably some pressure to succeed because it was the president of Iran, and I'm sure it was like, yeah, we have to go, so let's go.
Right.
And hopefully it was. I'm not even going to say what I'm not even going to say it out loud. But
was it a Kobe reference?
No, it was it was more of like a Jesus take the wheel, like Allah will guide us through the bad weather or something like that. But yeah, and I tell you what, it identifies something that's interesting as the response effort, because there's no cell reception or anything else. So when it went down, the assets that they had to use and turn on to be able to figure out where the location was, and even with all that, getting to where they were still took a long time.
Right, which is why we didn't hear official news for quite a while.
Right.
I would imagine,
because
at first it was a hard landing.
Right. Which I thought was fucking hilarious. I'm like, dude, first of all, the fact that when a helicopter has a hard landing, that usually involves some sort of auto rotation. And if a helicopter auto rotated, that meant some catastrophic failure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Look, you know what? When I'm going to get in a helicopter next?
Never.
If I'm in some sort of accident that involves me needing
like medevac
out. I do not plan on being conscious if I'm in the fucking helicopter. I don't want to know that I'm in it.
Yeah, I don't see a reason for me to ever go back in one.
No, I've been in helicopters 3 times in my life.
Yeah. And
I don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
The one time I was in it voluntarily, a buddy of mine who I worked with at CompuCom got his private helicopter pilot's license.
Oh, Jesus.
I was his first passenger.
Right? You must have...
This is how insane I was. This is the most insane thing ever. So, yeah, he had just gotten his license. He had just fucking fresh ink on the fucking paper. And we go up. We show up at the airport at South Jersey Regional. And it's a Schweitzer, right? It's a tiny helicopter.
Yeah.
It's like you're sitting basically on top of each other, next to each other. Think the MASH helicopter?
I was just thinking that, yeah.
That's kind of what it looks like.
Okay.
So it's got the bubble canopy, but it had doors on it.
Yeah.
But he's going through the pre-flight, and he's doing the pre-flight, and he's checking like basically the armatures that are controlling like the pitch on the propellers. And they're thinner. They're this thin. They're like 22 gauge wires.
Jeez.
That are like this. And he says out loud, he's like, if one of these goes, we're fucked. I'm like, dude,
what did you do to my screen?
Our entire existence, the entire nature of this flying machine is involved in this little tiny movement of this piece of steel. And I'm like, this is a bad idea. But fuck it, here we go.
Yeah.
So
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah. Well, and I get in the thing, and I've flown airplanes before, and I get in this having full confidence that usually when I get in an airplane with somebody, that I can fly this. If something happens,
right,
I know that I can fly it. Like
at least land it, you know?
Yeah, I look. I've again giant egomaniac, I guess, but I believe that if I needed to, I can fly anything within reason.
Sure.
I have the basic skills required to be able to do that. So, but in a helicopter, nope. I know the basic principles of what is supposed to happen, but the level of coordination that you need to have to be able to make that work. When I was sitting in that cockpit in 1998, 99,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I'm in the wrong thing right now. Like I was in the wrong seat. I'm like, why am I in this seat? Like it was the whole fucking experience was so odd. Like I just couldn't wrap my brain around like the cyclic and like God, this is not how things are supposed to fly.
Yeah.
So then we go for a flight. We flew out to this helicopter museum in Brandywine, where if you flew in, the museum was free. So we flew in, it was uneventful, and we were flying back. And it was cool. I mean, helicopters, it's a great view. Like if you're going to
Sure.
go up and, it's a cool view.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Hey, do you want to," like we were talking about like the flight, cuz I was telling him like, "Yeah, man, I don't think I could fly this. I just don't like the principles of how this is working. I understand it in theory, but I don't think I could do it."
Yeah.
And we started talking about auto rotation because I was like, what happens if this happens, like the motor stops or whatever? And he's like, oh, it's something we had to practice, for our check rides.
Oh, like engine out training?
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, here, I'll, you want me to show you? I'm like, I kind of want to know. So I was like, yeah.
I'd have been fuck no.
So I didn't know what I was getting into. Like,
Right.
again, conceptually, I understand the principle of it, but until your ass is in the seat for it, right? And we went up an extra 1,000 foot, and he just like he chops the fucking throttle, and we're just like, and we're just turned into a fucking stone. And
Holy
in the
shit.
sky, it comes back, and I'm like, never do that again. First of all, second of all. Fuck that. Like, if that's like, okay, now this is falling, so we're hoping that this spins enough where it generates lift where I'm not going to fall to my death.
Yeah.
Right? No.
Oh my
sorry.
God.
No.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, the skids are rated for a certain amount of crash, right? So it's like a controlled. Fucking
Sure.
thing.
But if you're falling from 1,000 feet, I don't care how good they are. It's going to hurt.
No, my cousin Rick I'll tell you that I guess the 46s when he worked on them, the Marines, the 46s, they would have all kinds of issues like when they get a hard landing, and I guess they had like inflatable things for, I think it was for landing on the water or something, and they would like inadvertently go off.
Shit.
Because of it. I remember him talking about some kind of issue. It's just like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck helicopters.
Yeah, and you hear about helicopter crashes all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like far more than you hear about plane
You
crashes.
see them. Like
Yeah.
you see videos of them. Did you see the one that was like in Venezuela or Colombia or something?
I don't think so.
It was somewhere in South America or Central America. And they were like practicing for an air show.
Of course. It's always about the fucking air shows.
Yeah. What dumb, dangerous, or different, right?
Yeah.
So there were two helicopters that were doing like this like kind of quasi formation thing where they were they're going up like this, and one made contact with the other one, and it just went and just fucking fell out of the sky. It like watching it happen, and it didn't even make like a fireball. It just went and just turned into a puddle.
Just like
It's just like, oh, that's done. That's over now for them. And then the other one's like, yee, fucking yeeting all over. I just like, dude,
Jesus Christ.
fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like again, it's just like you hear the adage about bumblebees, how bumblebees aren't supposed to fly. You ever heard that?
No.
Yeah, it's like somebody. I actually wrote a paper on this in a physics class in my undergrad, and there was a saying that basically you can mathematically say that bumblebees can't fly,
Huh.
right? So I wrote a paper on, and basically the aerodynamics of how they fly.
Right.
Dude.
The surface area of their wings and all that stuff.
Dude, dude, it is fucking fascinating how that actually works. Like their wings are rotating, and it's actually creating a stall characteristic, so that each time the wing kind of goes over, it creates this area of stall that it builds lift off of.
Huh.
So it's actually not really generating lift. It's stalling, and it's using the stall characteristics to actually fly. Dude, it's fucking fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd have to dredge up that paper, dude. It's fucking amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a fun thing to research.
Huh. Yeah, no, that's awesome. But it is now well after 8.
Yes.
I got to get to bed. So I think it's time to shut off the live stream. But this has been the After Hours show with Dave and Jason. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, man.
Peace.